What's going on, everybody? It's Thursday night. No Breen till Monday. Breen decided to go on to a sports ball sabbatical. He, he doesn't want to be on live because he's got too much stuff to watch. I don't blame him, and it's not something that he just kind of like said. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna show up. No, we've been planning this for a while, so it's kind of like his little mini vacation, so he can just focus on the stuff that really matters. The TV now.
Yeah,
Is it
hey,
now?
wait a minute. He gets a vacation from a whole week's vacation from me. I don't think he needs another day. I mean,
I mean,
it depends on your point of view, I guess. Just like Master Kenobi says.
a week away from
It's,
you isn't enough.
it's true.
And
Hell,
now,
imagine having to live with me 24 hours a day. I have
yeah,
no
let's
sense of you
not. I
guys,
don't
though.
want that image. You know,
Yeah, bite me, Lucen.
because you're well, for one thing, no offense, but you're a smoker. Smokers, their clothes stink like stale smoke, and ugh.
Hey,
Eh.
you should see some of the cologne I wear. It's called Eau de Stink. So
Yeah.
it winds out. It buries the smoke. Yeah.
That's like people with really bad BO, but think they're just gonna spritz cologne on it, and like it's like, dude, you're and like you smell like beef and bean burritos, but you haven't had any.
But are they chimichangas though? I mean, if they're chimichangas,
I know he's like no, but wait, he does have a nice collection. You could he showed off comic books.
all you have to do is wait until I fucking kick, and then you're like, okay. No, he didn't have a bunch of comics in here, man. They're gone.
Well, at least I'm like halfway between you. So I'm in the middle point. So if you go, I can go to you. It's the same distance getting to the Breen's house the other way direction. So yeah. Anyway, but I don't want to drive to Alaska or even fly over Alaska. I'm good. If I'm going to Alaska, I'm gonna join Parker Schnozzle and dig for gold. Gold Rush. No,
Yeah, those things are. Yeah, that's reality TV.
that is reality TV. Because there's no way that little kid with the big schnoz is getting all these good-looking girls.
Well, you haven't seen some of the girls up here, man. I mean, seriously.
Well, I mean, if they don't look like Eskimos, I imagine they're pretty good-looking.
Actually, I've met a couple of really good-looking guys.
Do you actually know who has everybody thinks about let's go to California for all the girls. No, but honestly, you don't. You go up to Maine. Maine has an ungodly amount of single women that are hot.
I'm telling you what, though, man. Florida's got some hot ones. There are some pretty attractive women up
I
here.
feel like the women that are going down to California and Florida, you don't want the ones you want to date because a lot of them are shallow. They're going there trying to become celebrity stars, whatever.
That, and I think a lot of them have had a lot of
surgery. Yes,
I was going to say work, but yeah, that'll work.
And then a good majority of them probably were used to be men.
Yes. So,
but anyway,
they
now
probably
we've got
they probably look like Breen before the surgery, or me, and then
dude, I will give props if anybody looks like you or Breen and then gets surgery and it looks nothing like you know, and like how the heck does that even work? But hello to the chat. Now that we've scarred you for the past 3 minutes, it feels like it's been 10.
Oh, wait. You want to see scarred? Wait until I turn my camera on. No, just kidding. I'm kidding.
You can only hurt us once. I mean, it's not like it gets better each time. And I'm just saying, it just can't get worse, though. We've seen you multiple times.
Really? Let me take my shirt off. Hold on.
Come on. Why would you put that? I bet now Marani's not going to show up. Jeff, then you'd have to live with RDD for 24/7. Yeah, it is true. You'd have to live with me. I might be worse.
We'd have a crazy off.
I would actually do the whole the tape across the ceiling and the wall before you don't go on this side. This is my safe space.
You'd pull a Sheldon.
Yeah, right. And just spraying potpourri on your side, the aerosol, Lysol, literally, I would be the Felix Unger, or whatever it's called. It's in The Odd Couple. Impressively, 1 month from today, E will really be cursing his neighbors. Oh, 420. That's right. I didn't even think of it. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, oh, you're mean. Yeah.
Hitler's birthday?
Yeah, the smokers get high on 420 because it's 420, the police code. I'm like, it's a stupid tradition.
420, that's Hitler's birthday.
Here's the thing: if you are getting really messed up on, marijuana and all that stuff, you don't need a day to do that. You're like that every day. It's
You
like
guys,
it's
you
like
guys should have
alcoholics
realized.
having a holiday for beer. St.
No,
Patty's Day. We don't need that. We already,
that's just what. That's any holiday. Christmas, New Year's
but
Eve.
St. Patty is specifically meant for beer. Like it's literally what's become. It used to be about the Boston Massacre and all that stuff, and just like then it just became like, hey, we're Irish. We want green beer. Well, they'll make it pretty, and
Then
people
there's
want
Cinco
to
de Mayo.
celebrate.
That's another one. So it's just
Yeah,
let's get hammered.
yeah. You can't convince me it's about leprechauns anymore. It's all about people who are drunk and seeing leprechauns. Those are called little people. They have rights.
Hobbits.
Hobbits. There are 7 holidays for beer: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
That's about right. Whatever holiday that ends with the letter Y.
Right. Oh,
Okay, so you do want to go first, or should I?
well, if I go first, you're left alone on the stream. I can't handle that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's your show, so you should go first. So.
Well, how many books you got tonight?
I have some in stock trade stuff.
Because I got about 10 books plus 2 back issues. That's it.
6. I've got 8.
Okay.
Plus,
well, do you want to go first? I don't care. We can mix it up.
Yeah, we can mix it up.
All right.
Okay.
Well, see, I just made myself.
Yep.
There you go.
Okay, we're doing a new system now. The person who's showing the comics, they get the small picture. The people who aren't get the big one.
Can you see this book? It's so little.
Check this out.
I like this part inside the book. You can't see. It's like
it's the this is the Vision Test comic channel.
oh my gosh, I could do that. I really could rearrange it so we're this small on like the actual all of us. So when you full screen, it gets even smaller.
You should do that with Zach when he comes in.
If he comes in, Zach's unreliable, but usually he's just.
No, Zach is always on time. He's like a wizard. He always gets here exactly when he intends to.
No, that's Pixel. He's a wizard.
Okay, number 8. It is Crush Depth.
You with the Indie of the Indies. Is that a Mad Cave? Or is that something else?
It's a Mad Cave.
I did not see that book. Is it new?
Yes, it came out. It's written by.
Well, I mean, is it number 1?
Oh yes.
It's okay. That's what I mean.
Yes.
Of course, everything on here is new.
Yes, it's new, and yes, it's a number 1.
Nice. Well, show some interior.
Okay, so basically, is what you have is you've had some sort of a catastrophe on land that makes it pretty much uninhabitable. And, so these people are in a nuclear sub underwater and have been for a long time. These people haven't come across people in at least a decade.
Jeez.
So you have, what's her name sitting here? She's, doing this. Then, so it cuts into just, the showing of the sub and all that. So there's these 2 brothers who are in command, like one's CO, one's XO, and there's this whole group of other people. And it's this lady's birthday, right? So she's sitting there. And all of a sudden, she gets, there's some water, and she's freaking out thinking there's a leak, but it's just a couple of people shooting her with a squirt gun to screw with her.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're living in a dystopian future, but we're going to make people even more terrified.
It's her birthday, so they're just screwing with her. And
this is a horror movie. Those are the first people that die.
And so they made her a cheesecake and all that. And so you kind of get the laying of the land, and they get a voice message from
Surface?
No, from another sub.
Oh.
They don't, they're like, wait, we haven't run across people in like 10 years. And so they go, they argue what they're going to do. They're going to go try and find it. Turns out that it was, it was a long time ago that these.
It's a distress call. It's always a distress call from a ship, a ghost ship.
Yeah, and then, then you find, people out there. It's like, oops. And then they run into some shit, and it's bad. And then
so you're in a nuclear sub. You're in the depths of the ocean. Yes. You get a signal, and then shit goes bad. I mean, what's not to like about this? It's like
they're sort of at or below cross depth, and then they're sinking. So,
Well, I remember you were in the Navy. You served on the ship, not in the subs, though.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Two different navies.
But is that what drew you to it, though? Or do you just go into it not knowing about the whole entire?
I had read something about it, and it looked interesting. Yeah,
All right.
nobody likes the submariners. There's three different navies: there's the air, surface, and sub navies. Nobody likes the submariners.
Well, they're all seamen. No one likes that.
True, but we always made a joke.
I mean, some people, but then we're not talking about that.
Yeah, we always made jokes. 300 people go down, 150 couples come back up, and yeah. But there was always fights between the surface and air navies and the sub navy. Okay, then number 7, Absolute Batman number 5.
Nice.
Or 6-5.
Feel free to show the interior art for that if you want to. I don't know if Zach got his, but I mean, I was looking at League of Comic Geeks and it's basically seeing what was actually getting the most love. And I hear about League of Comic Geeks. So it says like, oh, vote for your pick of the week. So this happened just out of curiosity because they know they have their own ranking system for books, individual issues. And even though Flash was winning for the vote for the best for the week, best of the week, it wasn't the new Flash. It was actually the Batman was actually high up with a 4.5.
I'm not really digging this as much as everyone else.
But I was looking at the scores. Like the Batman actually had a much higher score. It was a 4.5, where the Flash was right around. Where did they say it was? 4.2. But yet for some reason it was winning the vote of the week. So these people are just voting it based on the image, or not even reading the book or even ranking it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess, like I said, I laugh when I see like the ranking scores on that site as it is.
And I think what a lot of people are doing is they're just, like what they do with books. They vote for it possibly because it's
a character they like,
or the book that they think is going to get them.
Yeah,
it's the big book of the week that is the one that's going to make money or whatever.
So like I said, I threw this week. I normally don't do it, but I threw the Absolute Batman up there as the bigger photo because. Not only did the cover look really cool, but I mean, according to what I'm seeing as far as the rankings on that website, I mean, Absolute Batman's getting quite a love. I know.
Well, but see, I don't like this cover.
You got the wrong cover. You didn't get the main cover.
You mean this one here?
Yeah, that one right there. See,
yeah.
that was like that. I like he's falling into the flames.
Yeah, I've never really been much of a.
I mean, I wish it wasn't Batman because Batman looks like Bane in that photo.
Yeah, and I don't like the art in this one. The art in here is just. But I guess in the last issue, he just got his ass handed to him, and he goes over and he goes to Wayland's house, and
this is a weird universe. He's friends with Wayland Croc,
but then he tells him he's Batman, and he's friends with all of them.
So this is before Wayland. This is the universe where Wayland Croc's still human. He's not a
yeah. If you see him right there, that's him.
And he does a tall black man who looks like John Henry.
Yeah, sort of. That's him. That's him right there.
Wow.
But then this is all of them at right before his father got killed.
Wow.
Because they went to the zoo and all that stuff. But so Black Mask is dropping all these because I guess Batman turned him down to help him and all that stuff. And
so people are getting he's recruiting armies with black masks.
Yeah, and they're trying to get people to kill him. And so Martha, why did you say that name?
Why did you say that name?
Is the vice mayor and all that stuff, and they're stuck out with all these people, and Batman's trying to stop the. There's some sort of server that connects to all these things, and they're trying to stop it and all that stuff. And he keeps flashing back to when he was a kid, and right before his father got killed.
Yeah.
And then speaking of Bane, right at the very end, this is epilogue, sir. Science is reporting it seems there's been a small snag in Gotham Cities. I'm aware.
Gotham Cities.
It's time. Get Bane. So. But I've never really dug the art.
What I would dig more is Absolute Batman, and from a little bit I've read of it, I mean, and maybe they are going to do this in the future, but I would just have him go away from his rogues gallery and have a different gallery.
Yeah.
How they do with Batman Beyond, Yeah, they just went with whole new enemies. They were
Yeah,
similar. Like Ink was as similar as Clayface, but it was a female assassin that got
yeah.
accident.
That makes sense because if you're going to totally revamp the character, you should revamp
You know,
everything because he's not rich. He's got not all this stuff. So they're just changing everything around
because
anyway.
otherwise it's just
Change
an
the bad guys.
Elseworld that was basically just rearranging the characters, and it's the same.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want. I mean, everybody says Absolute Batman. It's just like out of this world, insane like Batman like action on 11, cranked up past 11, and it should be that. And I want you to bring in new villains. I don't want to see Penguin. I don't care about Penguin.
Yeah.
Penguin works.
Is
Penguin works in the main universe. Put him in the Elseworlds. Like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna have him like running around as like a taller, more physical fit guy. I don't want that.
he's still sort of like a
And I don't want him looking like what's his called? Yeah,
Danny DeVito.
well, not Danny DeVito. You just talked about him, Roman Saminus, whatever his name is, the Black Mask. I don't want the Penguin with the personality of the Black Mask. I don't know. I just want high octane action. If that's what you're gonna do with Batman, that was what works with it. Once you start actually taking that away from that, the book loses its appeal. I think that's why a lot of people like it, because it's just over the top, insane action stuff.
Yeah, and that only
Simon,
works.
sorry, I couldn't remember what it was. If it was did I say Simonus? Yeah, Sionis.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Because literally, I think that's what the Roman is pretty much. To me, he's always been kind of like the Penguin, but he's instead of being short, stocky, and kind of like the monocle, he's more like the.
because each one of the main bad guys is sort of a reflection of a side of Bruce's personality.
Well, Roman Spanos is the rich guy who became like basically he's a CEO that basically went
but
crazy.
you have who the hell were we just talking about?
Bane.
Penguin
Penguin.
is what would happen if Batman was the rich guy who went bad? You have
Well, that's how I feel about Roman. They portrayed him in some of the stuff over the years.
Some of these guys are repeating, like Black Mask and him are repeating the stuff. And
the only thing that separates Two-Face from Roman or any other guys is the fact that he used to be Bruce Wayne's best friend, and he has a split personality. He took away the split personality,
that's just Harvey Dent.
Or not just Harvey Dent. I mean, like, if you imagine Harvey Dent went on a criminal spree and just became like the Roman.
Yeah.
And then never became Two-Face, I don't know. I just want like out of the box stuff. I want stuff I haven't seen before, and keep with the high octane stuff. Once you turn it into a drama and you lose a high octane action, it just becomes another Elseworlds Bat book.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, I want more stuff. I want Batman coming in through from outer space, snorting his underwear. I mean, I want more shit like that. That's crazy, stupid like that. If you're gonna go all out Elseworld, because that's what this is. But what's your next book?
Okay, next one is the second to the last issue of The Question, and at this point, I am just buying it to get to the end.
Yeah, I saw that came out this week, and I thought it was a number 1 again. It's like 4 or 5.
5 of 6.
The cover I saw looked really decent.
Yeah. But it's got the two Supermans, and they're trying to one of them.
Here's my problem with though that cover you showed there. She looks like Cobra Commander with boobs.
Yeah, pretty much. And I guess one of them, not the Eradicator. Who's the cyborg one?
Cyber Superman Henry Krenchick.
Right. But he escaped from the Phantom Zone, and he's trying to take over the Watchtower and destroy it and all that stuff. Now he has the ability to take over computers and stuff like that, and so and people.
Isn't Red Tornado actually in charge of the Watchtower now? He's an integrated system.
But he had managed to do something to the Red Tornado. And
you know what I've learned so far in the past couple of years at DC, that when it comes to the Phantom Zone, it's like Arkham Asylum. People go in and people come out the next day.
Yeah, and she's trying to figure out a way to break the control he has over some of the people. Uh, Kane had gotten Batwoman had gotten taken over. And
Marania, if you want Elseworld, sorry, Marania, if you want Elseworld Detective Batman or Batman be Detective, read Batman Dark Patterns. That's the full detective mode. So, all right, back to your story.
but she found out that like violence would be one of the ways to do it. Like, but she couldn't do it. So this is how she broke the control over.
By kissing the girl, remind
Yeah,
Batwoman, it's me, your ex lover from Injustice.
yeah, and it's like
Yeah.
so. At this point, I'm doing it just because I've already got the first. It's not.
Summer, that might be on your end because no one else has complained about audio yet.
No, I hear everything fine. So maybe.
No, I meant they're watching on YouTube, so I don't know. Like I said, here.
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he said it was his end. Yeah, I would
Okay.
say wherever you are, connect the Wi-Fi if you have audio issues.
876. Number 5.
Or,
World finished.
oh, you're still getting that, and it has Emil, right? The cookie shot.
Yes, which has absolutely nothing to do with
uh,
the book.
Rania's being
But
nice to you. She doesn't hear anything weird.
well, maybe she has the sound turned down. So this is the same thing. The last, I think it might be. This one finished up the finishing up the story where this guy manages to take over some of the sea doohickey stuff and it's like the sea version of the red, and they're trying to start a war between Atlantis and the other place, and
Paradise Island.
Huh?
Paradise Island.
No, the other submergible place.
Oh, there's another submerged place. I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought. Well, so here's the thing. I was always told that Atlantis was the city Atlantis.
Yeah.
You read the new I don't know if you got the new magazine from Last Days of Lex Luthor, Superman Last Days of Lex Luthor. In there was he tells Lex Luthor that that Atlantis isn't a city, it's a continent. There's multiple cities involved in it.
But this one is kind of separate, and they don't get along because they're the Mer people.
They hate Phil and McCoys.
And so then you have his Superman's that mermaid ex-girlfriend who's married to the king of the guy, and he catches her kissing Superman, but Superman wasn't returning.
You talking about Lorelei?
Yeah, I think that might be. It's just some big freaking soap opera, and I was just like, okay, I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be. Yeah,
I don't know, but like you bring up that kingdom, and like that was in the Mark Waid's story this week, so maybe he's connecting these somehow. That's a pass. Probably.
But I want that one to be done and them to move on to some other stuff because he has some good stories, but this one isn't one of them.
Well, I think for me, World's Finest, I stopped reading it only because it wasn't no longer Dan Moore's art on there, and it seemed like Mark Waid was focusing more on his other books, and that was becoming like the leftover storytelling.
Yes, okay, Marania is right, but yeah, some of the stories have.
Yeah, Lori the mermaid, the chicken and the sea.
They actually mentioned her in the Lost Boys, by the way.
Yeah. None of these people know what Lost Boys is. That's too old for them.
One of the greatest vampire movie ever done, by the way.
It's so old. It's from the 80s. No one.
I'm gonna say I'd say a couple things right now, but I'd get you demonetized, so I'm not gonna say.
Hey, Zach, get your ass in here. What the hell are you doing in the chat? Those are fellow nerds. Yeah, we'll tell you. Get on the panel.
Okay. Ooh, number 5.
There he
Richard
is.
Tracy.
There he is. Yeah. Dick Tracy, man. What do you think of it?
It's good. I like it. I really do. And it concluded the story as to who we find out who the blank is.
Well, that's the thing. Is it? It could be a false ending, a red herring. We're led to believe a certain person. Wow. Yeah, Marania once again with the hot takes. Lost Boys is great, and it is better.
The best vampire movie is Van Helsing. You're all wrong.
I hope you're
Give me
not
control of
like,
this thing so I can kick him off the channel right now, man. The only good thing about Van Helsing is Kate Beckinsale. That's it.
That's all you need. That's all that you need. That's also why the best werewolf movie is Underworld. All you need
I will
is
say
Kate
that.
No,
What?
no, 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 no.
For transformation though, American Werewolf
best-
in London.
The best werewolf movie ever, American Werewolf in London, is number 1. Wolf with Jack Nicholson is number 2. Silver Bullet is number 3.
Wow, he didn't mention Teen Wolf one time. I don't know if I want to hang
The
out.
Michael J. Fox movie?
Yes.
No, he was talking about the TV series, which was better than the movie.
No, I never saw.
Never watched the series.
Never saw that.
But no, Lost Boys is better than
The Lost
whatever
Boys are
drama
a group
movies.
of 10-year-olds who wear animal costumes and Peter Pan. Those are the Lost Boys.
If you're talking about Langella's Dracula movie, you're talking about the original. No, that's not even the original one. The original one is the one we reviewed on the channel.
No, there's Langella. That was supposed to be the one that was a BBC production.
Yeah,
of it. And they say that was what it's supposed to be close. It was a pretty good movie, but it just wasn't.
if you want Dracula, best Dracula, it's Christopher Lee, hands down. Sorry.
Christopher Lee is actually pretty good too.
You know who? Now this is not a really good movie, but the person who does a really fantastic Dracula, Gary Oldman.
I think you say Leslie
He
Nielsen.
was Dracula, wasn't he?
Yes. He
Forgot
did a
about
fantastic
that.
job.
Hey,
with that
Dracula
movie.
Dead and Loving It is now gonna be. You know what? You guys are all wrong. That's the best Dracula movie.
Now, From Dusk to Dawn is really great, and also Near Dawn
Blade.
is fantastic.
Blade.
Bill
None
Paxton.
of us have mentioned Blade at all.
Yes.
Blade
That
the
is
best.
Us.
Blade had the best action, but it's some really bad CG. But anyway, getting back to our comic book stuff, as more people come in are like they're fighting over vampire movies.
Vampires are the new zombies, man.
Near Dark was I remember watching that, but that was kind of the best part of Near Dark is Bill Paxton.
Oh,
What
yeah.
I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's her name? The chick, from Aliens looked absolutely fantastic in there.
Oh, all right. You're talking about the one with the bandana,
Yeah,
the one that gets early out, gets in the
Jeanette Goldstein. Jeanette Goldstein.
Yeah. She was also in T2 as the mother, stepmom.
Yes, and Lethal Weapon 2. She's the one who dove on the diving board and the thing blew up. But
What do we got here? Thank you for the super chat. Everybody said Christopher Lee is the best Dracula, hands down. This is what ST is for.
I think that was you that said that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was. He just said that, yeah.
Yeah. I know. I'm just saying, what does SB mean?
Super
SC.
chat.
Oh, okay.
He paid you $5 because you said the right opinion.
Ah. Tell me the other correct opinions, and I'll say them for more super chats.
No kidding. Okay, so number 3. The Flash.
Ah.
I get to meet him again here in about a month.
Really?
Yes.
I thought he's a fictional character.
Okay. I get to meet.
Oh, that
Jay
that
Jones.
that Flash. Okay.
Yes. I met him. Our first Comic Con appearance coming back up again, so I get to meet him again.
You gotta do it, but you gotta be dressed up as Ted.
I asked him. I got an autographed picture of him, of me with him, and he was going to sign it. And I said he wanted to personalize it, and I said something about made some reference to the TED thing about where they're talking about cocaine. And he's like, you could tell he really didn't want to do it. I said, okay, so let's go. He's just like, and I was like, okay, just sign that. And he goes,
You
okay.
don't want to do it, but yet you did the movie though.
I guess that's like, hey, I just thought it was funny that he was just like, he felt so comfortable about it, but I was just like, dude, whatever.
Well, the reason why, because you're sitting on his lap with the armor on him.
Yes, I was, stroking the side of his neck with my finger. And
Zach's like, I'm all right. I show up tonight.
I'm gonna go get myself a cup. My coffee maker just finished. y'all hear a beep? Yeah, I'll be right back.
running my fingers through his hair, whispering sweet nothings, and he,
Oh my gosh, 19 viewers, and I listen to you talk about that.
it wasn't until I called him daddy that he got all upset.
So they're asking, Lemire Flash, is it a pass? Did you like it? What do you think of it?
I liked it. because it's you really haven't found out how he became Flash yet.
Yeah.
Because you have did you read the previews that came out?
I saw the previews and I said I'm kind of still mixed on. I have actually bought the issue. I'm kind of mixed on it right now.
Because that's where it starts out as him running, and and then it jumps back, and so he's
It's
on
yeah, the
he's
origin
on a
of
yeah he's on a base and all that stuff.
Because remember, this is absolute universe. Everything's changed. There's no
Yeah.
Speed Force in this universe whatsoever.
Yeah.
But
But
I,
yeah,
yeah,
and
like I said, I'm mixed on it because what happens to Barry? If it didn't really happen to Barry, we don't know.
is that yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I didn't want to bring that part up.
You can spoil as much as you want because I'm going to show the whole entire book.
Okay, then have
Jeez.
at it. But
Well,
I
if you
like
haven't read it, that's your problem. I'm buying these books and reading them,
No.
showing them off.
did you like it?
Like I said, I'm mixed on it. I'm going to wait to the second issue to see if
Yeah,
if it
I mean,
continues to get.
I enjoyed it. I thought
enjoyed
it's
this
it's my second favorite of the absolute first
I
issues.
thought this one was better than the Batman. This
Oh,
one-
see, that's where we differ. I love the Batman one a little bit more, but this is better than the Superman one for sure.
Oh yeah, and so this is but
What?
this one was I really enjoyed this one, and
Better than the Superman? Sorry.
I'm trying to
Better than
figure
Jason Aaron?
Yeah.
now.
Wow.
Were those guys who the guys that were after him? Was that who I think it was?
Yes,
Yeah,
the Rogues.
Rogues.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
They're like bounty hunters now.
Yeah,
Yes,
and
the
then
Rogues work. So basically,
was-
Barry and work for the army. Their experimentation. He didn't really tell you what it was. Wally West basically runs into. Was sneaking out from campus because he has no friends. His mom's dead, and his dad's basically part of this research project,
researcher, yeah.
and gets mad that his son sneaked out. Barry actually offers to give him a job so he wouldn't get into trouble. Work with them, stuff on there. Work on the experiment. Barry so basically Wally and his dad get an argument. Wally runs in there and somehow right in the middle of the project gets caught in the blast, and we're led to believe that Barry's dead.
Well, they didn't show that part
No.
there.
They did show a corpse.
Oh,
Built a corpse.
they
In a
just said
costume.
it jumped here, but it didn't show what had
No,
happened.
no, but they did show. They basically it's the Flash, but they showed that there was a corpse there wearing the current Flash costume, which is on the cover. So we don't know if that really was Barry, but he blamed. He says, "I got Barry killed. I ruined everything. He's on the run." At the end, he's being chased by the Rogues, Captain Cold. Now, here's the problem I have with this. And
Is
now,
that Mirror Master that came out of the very
well, no,
end?
that's Mirror Master. But you know what? I'm going to save this because I'm going to show the book when I get to my turn.
All right, yeah, that's
Wait, did you not go yet? You let Jeff go first?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, I thought you went through your books like really quick.
No, I did not.
no. We were waiting for you because he wanted to have put on a show for you
Oh,
because he loves you so much.
I'm touched.
Yeah. Well, Breen's not here tonight.
HR because I don't like to.
I won't see Breen till Monday night, so I'm just changing things up a little bit.
Ah, okay.
He's worshiping the TV for the next 4 days.
Hey, it's basketball season. My dad's doing the same thing.
And baseball. Anyway.
Okay. Number 2. Batman and Robin Year 1, number
Another fun
6.
book.
Really good book. And what I liked about this one is there's tension between Bruce and Dick finally kind of comes to a head, and it gets mostly resolved because Bruce kind of pushes him on it, and Dick doesn't hold back, because Dick was doing some things which pissed Bruce off, and Bruce was kind of yelling at him, and I guess Bruce was, he knew what he was doing, and he just kind of kept needling him until, because he wanted Dick to say certain things, and once he did, he's like, okay, that's what I wanted to hear, and so I really liked that.
Yep.
And number 1. Detective
No.
Comics.
Nice. Not the Batman book I would have expected.
Now, I have the feeling, and God, I hope I'm wrong.
I got a feeling. I knew exactly where it went.
It's gonna be a
Trying to get copyright struck by the Black Eyed Peas.
Well, that would really make you upset, wouldn't it? Black eyed peas.
That's what happens. That's the reason why they called it that is because I guess Fergie decided to try and mouth off, and he gave her a black eye, so she used peas to keep from getting a sign her. So that's how they got the name.
Yeah, I want everybody to go and tweet this. This is spitting facts right here that he's talking about. Jeff spitting facts.
That's right.
And add him at Geekeasy. And tag Fergie.
She's still relevant.
She's Fergalicious, bro.
She's got some lady humps.
They don't lie. Yeah. I mean, if you don't believe me, go ask Shakira. Her hips don't lie.
I like Shakira's hips.
We all do.
Yes. But the problem is with this one, I think Taylor might be pulling a Taylor.
What? Well, I mean, it's Tom Taylor. Yeah.
What did he do?
I have the feeling, and
I have the feeling.
I could be completely off base on here.
Suspense as he loses an E, taking on the bag. Wait, no, that.
But you know how certain people have always remained dead.
Yeah.
There's certain people that don't come
so
back.
So he brought back somebody from the dead.
Yeah.
He might be. Do you know what I'm talking about there?
No, I don't. But I'm saying it's not new.
Yeah, I was about to say if it's his parents. I mean, they came back in not New 50 Flashpoint.
But no, I mean,
is it Alfred?
But they died. No, not Alfred.
Then we don't care. Then we want Alfred. We don't care about
his mom or dad.
Yeah. Why do you say that name?
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, Bruce bringing back his mom back to life. It doesn't really matter anymore because we got that in Elseworlds where his mom's alive. It's not that big of a shock.
Right, but it's just she's never been back, and I think it's going to be for good as a villain. And I could be completely wrong.
Oh, so they're going to make her when she was the Joker during Flashpoint? Because during Flashpoint she was alive, but she.
So is he bringing back her the Lazarus Brit, or is she coming from the Flashpoint universe where she's?
No, they aren't really explaining.
Well, show us the book. I know what you're talking about, bro.
Flashpoint, after he saw Barry tried to bring his mom back and how that threw everything out of whack, you would think he would know, hey, maybe I shouldn't try to bring my mom back.
But he didn't bring him back. But there's this thing that's just he got a message from this Asima about this company that because he's been taking this he's going to this company that's supposed to help you get younger and stuff like that.
Lazarus, yeah.
No, it has nothing to do with the Lazarus pit, but it's other stuff.
Everything's connected to Lazarus with Batman. I don't care who's writing it.
But it's like injections, and he's also because he wants to try and get back in a little bit better shape, but he's also investigating it. And there's a girl there that he's having a relationship with.
And she turned out to be his mom.
No, but it turns out that they're using the blood of young kids to do the stuff, and so he's all pissed off about all this stuff, and Superman and everyone's trying to get him to do stuff, and he puts it out. And he goes. A big thing with Joe Chill's daughter is this.
Yeah, I remember that. He dated. Yeah, he was dating Joe Chill or the guy who murdered his parents. I think it was Joe Chill, wasn't it?
Joe Chill was supposedly the guy, but in other instances, it was actually the Joker that killed his parents.
No, but this actually was Joe. They actually said it was Joe Chill, but he was dating a girl, and then the girl is has something to do with what's going on. She reveals all this stuff, and then this Asima or whatever she's the one that was revealing all this stuff, and I think that might be Martha. But they do have this one really good scene in here with Dr. Tompkins, and boy, they are making her look young in this one because she's supposed to be a lot older.
They've given her the Aunt May movie treatment. They make her look younger and younger every time they draw her.
One thing, there's one thing I really like. There are two people in DC that can sit there and say whatever they want to Batman.
Yeah.
and get away with it. 2.
Yeah.
That's
Just
it.
do it. Yep.
That'd be Alfred
Yep.
and
But
Leslie
he's dead.
Tompkins. And anyone else would try some of that stuff, even if it's like Clark or someone like that. There'd be times where he just slapped them down and he wouldn't. But those two get to, and they don't use it much. It's not, something that happens all that much. But there are times when they will just sit there, and if they think that he's out of line, they will slap him down and he will sit there and take it. And I really like that, and they're both wise enough. Well, Alfred's not going to be doing it anymore, but they're both wise enough to use it sparingly.
Yeah.
And she does that in this one. She calls him out and says, but this is for the betterment, because he's feeling down on this stuff, and he's just like, she goes, no, you're not this way, you're this way. And so I was just sitting there thinking how that's how he will just sit there and he's just sat there and he listened, and he'd put up a little bit of a small argument, and then he just sat there and said, yep, you're right, because he knew that she was right. And she was sitting there saying, we've had our arguments over some of your methods and stuff like that, but you're basically a good person. I wouldn't be doing this stuff if I thought you were a killer. Mm-hmm. And and so she just gave him a pep talk, and that moved him on to some of the stuff. But there's still a couple more things going on. But that's what I got for this stuff. And then remember last week I said that I had the package that showed up while I was on air.
Let's get started.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see the new poll?
There's a
I put a poll. Yeah, I put a poll up in the chat. Should Martha Wayne be brought back as a villain? And there's 3 different options: yes, no, don't carry the way. And it's concerning how many people actually want her back as a villain.
Okay, so there was, I had 2 orders from in stock.trade, but one of them got broken into 2 different things. You know how they do that every once in a while?
Yeah.
So, but I got all of I forget which ones it was that came last Thursday, but I've got all of them so far. So one of them is.
Hey, I know that series.
Yeah, because I had started to read
Nice.
it, and then due to Diamond, a couple of them didn't show up, or I missed them, so I just
Diamond.
Honestly, I encourage everybody who, if you missed like a couple issues of a miniseries, wait for the trade.
Yeah.
Because Diamond is either, because remember, Diamond was supposed to be bid on today. Whoever's going to buy it.
Was it today or was it yesterday? I thought it was yesterday.
I thought it was supposed to be today.
But my LCS owner, I was talking to him yesterday. They just got books from Diamond in yesterday. Yeah. They were supposed to have got a month ago.
Yeah, but as far as so Diamond at my shop, they are no longer using Diamond, so books are no longer guaranteed to be up there at Wednesday. We'll be looking at New Comic Book Day coming up on Thursday or Friday now.
And Marani is right, by the way.
The only which worked was Bucky, but that was Brubaker. Brubaker's a good writer, but I don't know, man. Like, honestly, for me personally, on the poll, I'll just when it comes to the poll, as far as Martha Wayne being brought back as a villain, for me personally, I don't care either way. If it's done, that's cool, whatever. If it's not done, but it becomes like a thing where like she sticks around and she's just like Bruce, I love you, but I never loved your father anyway. I was gonna divorce him. Like, I don't want that crap.
but hey, Marania, I've heard possibly they're bringing back Gwen Stacy.
Yeah, they are
in canon. I mean, in main continuity.
I heard that too.
Here's the thing about that: no one reads Amazing Spider-Man anymore.
That's true. So many people went to start trying to read. They tried to read Spider-Gwen after the Spider-Verse movies because Spider-Gwen's a main character and everyone loved her. They tried to go read the comics, and a bunch of people are like, why is this writing so trash?
You know what? I almost blocked you, Glenzer, on Twitch. I just saw that. If you want 1 billion new Twitch viewers, log into. It's like
I thought it was a robot. I thought it was a bot too when I saw that. I was like,
until I saw the name, and I was like, oh, it's Glenzer. Yeah.
Yeah. So then I also got
Hey, what's up, Mark? Yeah.
Door to Door, Night by Night, Volume 1. It is a book by Colin Bunn,
Oh, okay.
which is uh, it's a bunch of. It starts out with a woman hitchhiking, and she gets picked up by these people in a van, and she thinks it's a cult at first, but it's a bunch of people who are going door to door to sell tickets so you can get portraits taken. You know, you go to the mall, and you get and it's supposed to raise money for this local fire department, and they run into this. They said, "Don't go to this one cabin because there's something going on. Some bad people." And they wind up going there, and there's some kind of creature there, and so they have to fight it and all that. And it turns out that she's a monster hunter, and so they start this. Different towns are going to hunt monsters and stuff. Sorry, just taking off my ice pack, and it's pretty good.
Mhm.
It's volume 2, and I want to get that.
Right
But
on.
it's Colin Bunn. Colin Bunn's horror is always really good. Then / Omnibus Volume 4. I have the first 3 back there. And I wish Breen was here because he'd like these. Tales from the Crypt, number 5. I think that was last week he had that, and that's what I was. Here.
Oh yeah. Didn't he give up on EC or Horror Archive, or was that Abyss? I think it was Abyss.
It was Abyss.
Yeah.
Abyss is supposed to be the reboot and all that stuff, but
Yeah,
these are the reprints of the old stuff.
that's
Okay,
right.
then I have I have Creepy number 9
Mhm.
and Creepy number 7. By the time I tried to get number 8, they had sold out already. And then / Deluxe number 5. And then the one that I've been waiting for the longest time, I ordered it the day before my birthday, and it took until about 3 or 4 days ago to get here. It took forever.
Oh, John Sable trade. Nice.
Yep. Omnibus number 1. It's 450 pages.
Soft
And
cover too.
Yeah, they didn't have a hard book. But the weird thing about it is omnibuses are usually pretty big. But
Yeah.
this one,
I don't know, man.
it's not. It just seems like kind of a book size.
So does that mean that you can't read it then because the print's gonna be smaller?
Yeah, I've got. I can do my dad sometimes when he didn't have his glasses on.
Yeah.
But this is Mike Grell. This is really close to his his Green Arrow thing.
Yeah.
It's really interesting so far. So I'm really enjoying it. But that's it. That's all I got.
So I entered the poll for the Martha Wayne one. 13% of the people out of 15 votes said yes, they want her back as a villain. 40% said no, and then 46% says don't care either way.
I mean, the only Batman books I'm reading, it wouldn't affect because one's in another universe and then one takes place in the past.
So majority of that poll, the 15 people, majority of people just slightly says that they don't care if she's brought back or not as a villain. Don't care. And there's like 40% were actually offended. No. New poll's up though. Real quickly, I did put a new one up.
That's what she said. The new poll's up.
Well, I was gonna get the German, but I couldn't. I had to get the Polish. New one is up there. Says, do you read comics? I read new comics. I read older comics. I stopped reading comics. So I know you guys are talking in the chat about, but if there's a poll, you can answer in the poll. That's all I need to know. But anyway, Zach, you want to go next, or should
Sure. I know I've got some books that won't be brought up tonight, so it'll stay relatively fresh.
Fresh.
Well,
I actually had a pretty big week. Yeah.
Is this in reference to Cinco de Mayo there? You're a little early there, buddy.
No, I had nachos for dinner. I'm actually full of nachos right now, and I just thought it was a funny pun. I never pass up the opportunity for a good pun. So, yeah, I worked out today, and I was like, I have the appetite. I could eat a whole platter of nachos.
I worked it out today. Let me counter everything good I did and just stuff myself with nachos.
And, well, the thing is, I couldn't even get halfway through the platter of nachos. Like, I got halfway through it, and then my stomach was like, you fool. You're 36. You're not 18. What are you trying to do here?
And as you get more in shape, you can't eat as much.
That's true. Your stomach, because my portions have been going down, so your stomach shrinks down. Yeah, exactly.
See, if you're fat, you can consume more.
So I guess I should be encouraged because that means something is working. But
yeah, it means you're slowly dying.
I turned 37 in 2 months. So yeah.
Oh no, 37. I see. You got to be like me. Like in June, I'm 40.
Yeah. See, I need to shave this because then I can go back to looking like I'm 28 or 29.
Yeah, right.
But
I've always looked like I'm on the verge of 40 since I was 20.
Yeah, I honestly 41, 42, like a little over the hill at this point.
So over the hill. So you know who's 41, 42 right now? MKF.
All the white in the beard that you have more than me. That's kind of what's pushing it a little bit.
I've had gray hairs, and it's only gotten worse since my early 20s.
I mean, I used to only have grays on this side. I think when I was like 31 or so, I had a few over here. Now it's kind of it's all over my chin, but it's not as much as you've got.
Quiet, you're triggering the.
I know Brian is Brian's like, shut up.
I'm waiting for the torches.
All right. Starting off, we have, and I kind of put these in some kind of order. There's the lackluster, and then there's the better ones. So lackluster ones, I did pick up. There is a new volume of Adventure Man that started this week. This is volume 3, issue number 1. This one is called Family Tree. I did read all of the first volume. I didn't complete the second one, but this is the Dodsons and Matt Fraction. It's this single mom. Her son is addicted to these like pulp adventure stories. They find a book that, I kind of forgot how it happened, but basically it made it to where this single mom's life started to reflect and get the powers or whatever of this pulp fiction character and his teammates. So you would have like this almost Doc Savage caricature, and he had like this team, and then the single mom had a bunch of adopted sisters and like this big family. They kind of all started to fill those roles. That's how I remember it. I'm not sure how accurate I'm portraying that. But this is the third volume. This actually doesn't even follow the mom at all. This mainly revolves around one of her sisters, who's an EMT. And it goes between two storylines. There's what's happening in the real world, and then there's what's happening in this almost like this telenova, but it's got luchador wrestling in there as well. So there's this fun kind of, I don't know. It's a little weird. It's a little different, but the Dodson's art makes up for it. It's always really fun to look at. It was okay. I don't know that I'll keep it up. I just saw there was a new number 1 out, and they do these really great covers. Like this is the next one.
There was one
sidecar. It's kind of futuristic, but also retro at the same time.
Isn't that like the volume 3 of that series?
This is volume 3. This is the third.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember Skip. I think Skip was talking about it like 5 years ago.
I don't know if I know I was reading the first volume.
Adventure Man, it was called.
Adventure Man, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it would have been really cool if they had just done Adventure Man and his team and not brought in this mom and her sisters. But that's my opinion. They're going to do their own thing. But it's okay. It's not. I don't think it's great. Yeah, kind of retro futurism, summoner. It's really weird. I think the second volume had to do with like this kind of ghost cowboy guy. I didn't finish all of the second volume though.
Sorry, MK. It is true. You sound old. You literally come up as Apocalypse whenever you're on the chat. You're in the panel.
Dark Side, not Apocalypse. Dark Side.
No, Apocalypse from the X-Men cartoon back in the day.
Oh, okay. Well, I was thinking Dark Side, just not from the Justice League cartoon.
Well, how old is Darkseid? Is he eons old?
Darkseid's like eternity. What are you talking about? He's got to be older than Apocalypse. Got to be.
Well, right. I don't want to make him sound too old.
We got one of the books we have that wraps up the story arc. We have Avengers. This is number 24. Jed McKay, Farhad Karami. This is the end of the whole Kang, space gambling casino heist story.
We was Kang.
Starring Felicia Hardy, who actually does not join the Avengers. She's just put in here because it's a heist story, and also Jed McKay likes writing Felicia Hardy. So
I read the first issue of that or that story, and I just like, why isn't she just in her own book doing this?
The second one was pretty good too. This one was She doesn't really do a whole lot. This is probably the best she looks, honestly, in the whole book. They show her throughout the book, but
because it reminded me of a Cowboy Bebop doing a space heist, you know.
Yeah, I mean, the Avengers are doing a space heist. Kang has Black Cat. They're trying to beat the Avengers to a something that's in the safe, and you find out in the end it's this game between the Grandmaster and this other cosmic villain who's fairly new, who's been hounding Kang for a while. It's all right. It's not.
It just sounds weird. Avengers in deep space doing something, and like
this could have been a Guardians of the Galaxy story.
Yeah.
It would have made a lot more sense. It would have made a lot more sense if this was Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, but, I don't. When it comes to Avengers, I don't think of deep far sector space heist in a casino.
Well, I'll tell you what, points to them for at least staying in canon because the Avengers aren't around, or at least these Avengers aren't around when Doom takes over the world. And so then they show up and like, oh, crap, what happened? Because when I did read that first issue of Doom, I don't think it.
Yeah, that's the other reason I dropped that title, because I don't want any reference to Doom events going on.
Because I'm not going to be picking up number 25 because I think they're going back to Valerio Skiddy. But as soon as Karami takes over as main artist, I will be picking these up mainly for the art.
Yeah, Marania, but I mean, no,
she's right. Ooh, she got you.
The Kree War was what, 1970, 1960?
She got you though, man.
And
you really didn't get me in a row.
Did you not read Infinity, the Jonathan Hickman run?
I was going to say
they were in deep space for most of that too.
I was just going to say that.
That was a great story.
I don't read those books.
Dude, Jonathan Hickman, that was Hickman's second best Marvel story.
As I'm saying, every other media, the Avengers are not known to be in deep space. They're pretty much I'm defending the Earth. So going out into space, you're leaving the Earth vulnerable.
No, there were a bunch of other heroes on Earth at that time. There were like 5 Avengers teams at this point.
Yeah, plot convenience.
Anyway. Then we got World's Finest. This is number 37. This wraps up the whole Aquaman, Swamp Thing, Fluorescent Man story.
Dude, where is the action figure of Aquaman with the seahorse?
Dude, I really want one. I really do. Look, do you guys see? Can you even see? Where's he at? Oh no, you can't see him. He's on this.
John Cena.
He's kind of he's hidden over here. I have a Hawkeye on a Sky Cycle figure that I got. He's kind of right between.
Get out of there! If it's John Cena, he won't heal. You can't see him.
Get John Cena. This one was kind of, I don't know. Normally, the World's Finest stories, I don't care for them so much at the beginning, and then they ramp up and end on like a big bang. Yeah, this one didn't really end on a big bang for me. It was kind of so-so.
Yeah. Jeff said he didn't really care for that issue either.
It was, I mean, there was parts of it that I liked, but overall, it was like the whole thing where they fight Fluorescent Man at the fluorescent. Is that the right word?
Translucent?
Translucent? I don't know.
No.
Man. Whatever.
I know, yeah.
You know who I mean.
Fluorescent was a light bulb.
The whole, that's what I was thinking. I was like, that can't be the right word. I mean, that battle was just the most interesting part to this to me was actually the whole Lori Lamaris and Ronald, like the drama, the romance drama was the most interesting part. I was like, I don't feel like that's how it should be when you've got Atlantis and giant sea monster, stuff going on.
I almost picked it up because I thought that was Batman Beyond the cover. I was like,
it does look like Batman Beyond, doesn't it?
It literally is the Batman Beyond armor.
It kind
without
of does.
The wings.
It looks like Black Manta.
Is that supposed to be a jetpack on his back, or is that an energy blade?
So. I don't know, man. I have not seen this. I didn't pay too much attention.
Oh,
I was looking at the seahorse. Okay.
So now I look at it closer. He's got Master Chief's Halo sword.
He does. He has the energy sword.
Energy sword.
So it's not terrible, but it is kind of lacking compared to the way other World's Finest stories have ended. All right. We've got Sonic the Hedgehog. This was the very last copy my shop had. So,
I pass up on that version. I got the original cover.
So this one, I'm glad I got this one because I do kind of like this style. It is kind of Chris Samney, Michael Cho looking. The story itself, though, it's got good points and it's got points that I don't care for. There's stuff that I do like. I like the interaction between Batman and Shadow the Hedgehog. I thought that was really good. Knuckles and Superman also are a really fun combo. Two things I didn't care for, and I'm sure RDV, he will probably talk about this. Whenever they're doing their introductions, Sonic and his friends are introducing the Justice League. So Superman brings up the whole truth, justice, and better tomorrow bit.
Yeah, that's
some folks will roll their eyes at that. And then the other thing I don't like, Amy is introduced as Sonic's longtime bestie. And I have to, because that's not accurate, because Tails is Sonic's longtime bestie. Amy is the annoying fangirl that wants to be in a relationship with Sonic.
yes.
So those two bits kind of almost threw me out of it.
He calls Tails his little brother.
Wait.
He does call Tails his little brother. There
Are
is
these
that.
two guys they're talking about that are supposed to be besties?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, he
Guys
introduces
do not
Amy. He introduces Amy as the bestie.
Amy is the pink hedgehog. Yes.
Guys
the
do
pink
not
hedgehog.
refer to other guys as their bestie.
That's true. Amy might have introduced herself.
Unless
I
they
don't
are-
know.
I don't know. I mean, it's a
Unless
kid's book,
they're-
and Sonic
It's a
has.
kid's book, though, too. This is very much a kid's book. This is very much a 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old book.
Guys don't, but younger kids.
Younger kids,
Yeah,
if you're
yeah.
9,
They
it's
have
not
some
gonna
slang.
really.
Unless
Yeah.
they're backwards mechanics.
This is a very child book. I mean, I won't say I got bored with it. There were some parts that were entertaining, but it is very much for children.
Well,
Don't go into this thinking you're going to get like Crisis on Infinite Earths. Okay?
I was interested because Darkseid's in there, and the first thing he goes after.
Darkseid and the Parademons are fun.
So he needs a new energy source to find the anti-elf equation. I thought that was hilarious. I was like, oh, I know exactly where he's going for. I'm like,
I knew that from the synopsis.
yeah. Oh, like I said,
What else would it possibly be?
yeah,
It has to be the Master Emerald.
yeah.
But anyway,
it is Ian Flynn writing it though.
Ian Flynn.
Ian.
Man.
Who cares?
Heard
It's
it both
great.
ways. Heard it both ways. We got Rockefellers issue number 4. This has probably been my favorite issue of Rockefellers so far. I did really enjoy this. I do have a gripe with it though, and this kind of I think highlights it the most out of the issues so far. It follows too much. It splits off too easily. It does. There are 6 different story threads in this because you've got one for each member of the family, and then you've also got one for the villain, and then for like the main guy, the father, his brother who lives in the future. So you got like these 6 or 7 different story threads going on here. It's a lot of different things to follow. Everybody gets like a handful of pages, which is fine. Everybody gets a chance to do their thing, but it feels like it could be joined together a little bit more neatly. But overall, it's not bad. I mean, you see the mom on the cover, you think it's a mom-centric issue. It's not. She and the husband go on a date. You find out some of her backstory, how she was an astronaut. She then got pregnant and couldn't go off onto space missions. Then it shows her and the husband going on a date night. It's cute enough. Then they show the granddad, who's like the super fit, healthy granddad. All these old ladies in the neighborhood are pining after him. So that's kind of a funny bit.
That's been the common theme for the past couple issues.
Yeah, that's a pretty funny bit. They show the son kind of getting in trouble at school, but then he also gets out of trouble at school. And, the daughter just like wants to feed birds and stuff, and they're trying not to act conspicuous. But then the most interesting part is towards the end. So the father, his brother, is still in the future. He's keeping contact with the family in the past, though. And so this brother and his fiance, they work for, it looks like this time travel version of the Witness Protection Program.
Yeah, she's an agent, works for the Time Bureau.
Yeah, she works for like the Time Bureau, and they took this guy and they hit him out in like the 1800s out west. And this is most of the book. I feel like it's a third of the book focuses on this. She goes into the Old West, helps this guy smooth things out with some Indians that he had mistakenly picked a fight with. And it's like, oh, okay, everything's all settled, everything's all done. And then the big bad guy that's been hunting this whole family for the last 3 issues shows up and kills all of them. So that was the most interesting part of the book. But
I wonder,
it's
like,
some light moments. It's got some fun stuff. It's pretty good. My favorite issue so far.
Kind of wondering if how that's so basically she tracked that person there, and then maybe she was tracking the other signal that Roland's brother is using.
Maybe. I don't know.
We don't
Time
know.
travel. I don't look too.
We don't know how they went back in time. If they used a specific thing that Roland's brother helped them get through a portal, get out through.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
When it comes to time travel, I really don't.
Yeah.
Everybody's got different time travel mechanics and theories and stuff, so I try not to dig too deep into it.
Yep.
We got Dick Tracy number 8. This has been a really good story arc going on here with the blank, the Moon Knight cop, or I guess I want to call him. This was really good though. I like the whole thing of Dick Tracy going to this lounge singer named Breathless. It's fun to have somebody have a fun tag name that's not
Sphinx
grotesque.
Breathless Mahoney.
Yep. Yeah. So really, really good. There's kind of the Batman. Oh, I'm in a trap, and there's a timer going off, and that whole bit. That was really fun. So yeah, and then the ending, like you said, it's got to go one of two ways. It's either this dude is this dude, or it's something has thrown you off. So I like that. You're not sure which way it can go. I appreciate that. So really good book from Mad Cave there. We're getting into the good books now. Dick Tracy.
Are we getting the good books? I thought they're all good books.
Well, the first 3 or 4 were kind of New Gods number 4.
Another series that got high praise on the rankings, the Comic Geeks.
Buddy, this one was good. So you got 2 stories going on here. On Earth, you've got Big Barda and Mr. Miracle trying to protect this child that's under attack. Orion shows up because he's waited his whatever amount of time he said he would hold off and give Mr. Miracle a chance to protect this kid and get him away. And then time ran out, so Orion shows up to kill this child, this baby, who's apparently he thinks he's the Antichrist of New Genesis, basically. And he and Big Barda get into a fight. Really fun to watch. And then the other story thread going on here is that these other forces, not Apocalypse, but this force that had just come from Apocalypse is now attacking New Genesis. And High Father's like, oh, Light Ray, and what's her name? The Sith lady, Speed Demon, I think, or Speed something.
Speed Demon was the Hyperion Squad.
Who was the girl?
No. It's actually Speed. Yeah.
Hang on, I'm gonna find it here. It's like, oh no, they show up. They are gods. Like they hold off all of these. Shadowfall, that's who it was.
Yeah, as I say, I thought Speed Demon was either part of Marvel or DC. I thought DC's
Speed Demon, I think, is a Marvel character.
And what is the Crime Syndicate's Flash?
Yeah. So you've got it shows all these hordes, but then they show they are gods. Like this is this is Shadowfall right here, shooting all these arrows into this. It's a very Lord of the Rings-ish kind of scene. But
is it a Native American? Did they give him an ethnicity?
Yeah.
Like they show.
Yeah. You got a lot of that in here. High Father, eventually he kind of goes off into this chamber. He leaves his staff behind, this ancient staff that he's been having. He goes off and does something, and then he shows up at the end, just completely geared up for war. The next issue should be
that looked like Throg.
I mean that's him on the cover too. That's High Father in the same kind of gear.
Oh, okay. The last thing you showed, it looked like Throg holding the hammer.
No, this is him. He's got a faceplate and the cover it's lifted up.
Yeah.
So it's High Father in decked out gear.
Where's Mother?
Huh?
You see that? Where's Mother? He's only gonna say hello to Father.
Yeah, there's a Mother box, but
I guess that's one way of living.
I guess so. This is the 3rd book that we've got. Now we're in the top 3, so this is Absolute Flash number 1. I really dug this. I think it's easy to see why this is one of the 3 most ordered Absolute books.
Yeah.
There's this, Batman and Superman. This was a solid number 1 issue, a solid premiere issue, I think. That you find out Wally West, he's 15, he's an army brat. He's got this rebellious streak in him. His dad moves him around. He's pretty much by himself. He's got this haircut. He plays rock music and stuff. So he's obviously it's the whole. It's
he's an '80s punk. His dad's an
exactly. And so he befriends this scientist on the military base, Dr. Barry Allen, who talked about. He kind of tries to be nice to him, give him a friend, give him something to do, His dad just goes nuts. I don't know if he feels jealous or what, but he's just like, no, go home.
Oh, Barry, and his dad's a tool. Obviously, he's grieving at his mom's. We don't know when the mom died, but I mean, like,
we don't know yet. I mean, it does jump around a lot, which normally would kind of bother me, but it's the Flash, so it kind of thematically works. It goes like, this was 2 days ago. This is now. This is 1 day ago. This is now. So there's kind of that whiplash you have instead of a fluid turn of events. But yeah, you get the rogues. We get introduced to the rogues in this, the absolute rogues, who are kind of more like bounty hunters.
Yeah, Zach MK's comment saying that, well, unless it's different, reminds you of a Lois Lane and Bart Allen mixed. You remember Brett and Rebel?
I don't have a problem with that. I mean, this is a different universe.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Batman's mom survived in the absolute universe, and you know, Clark Kent's parents supposedly survived. So
I'm shocked I'm shocked that they didn't do where she becomes Batwoman.
Yeah. I mean, it's only the first issue. I did like the last page. I think that was Mirror Master, I think, at the end.
Yes, it was.
It has like the whole mirror on the wall.
All the rogues are there.
Yeah, you pretty much, except for Heatwave. I don't think I saw Heatwave.
No, but poor Trickster, man. They turned him into Cue Ball.
Trickster looks kind of fun. I kind of like the way Trickster looks, actually. He's the weird look. He or she? I don't know.
We don't know which way. It said this elsewhere.
Which way it goes. They have Golden Glider. They have Boomerang. They have Captain Cold. He's got like the Tom Selleck stash, or Burt Reynolds, whoever you prefer for your mustaches. But overall, I like it though.
Okay,
you know, Wally gets his powers. It's very CW Flash. It's like a particle acceleration explosion. But overall, I liked it though. I thought it was a solid first issue. Jeff Lemire did really good. I feel like this as number one was a better effort from Lemire than even JSA number one. I like JSA number one.
Yeah, JSA is kind of mid. I mean, not saying it's bad, but saying it's not as good as it was with Jeff Johns was still on it, and they let him actually write what he wants to write.
So I think here's the difference. I think, and I don't know, Jeff Lemire may have some experience with this. I know he wrote Black Hammer, and there's a lot of characters in Black Hammer. But it seems like with this, he does better because it's a very small, limited cast of characters.
It's focusing on one person.
Yeah, you have Wally, and then you have the supporting cast, right?
Yeah.
And then over in JSA, you've got like the old guard, the new team, also the Injustice Society. You've got a lot more characters you're having to juggle, a lot more character voices and stuff like that. So I think it's just a matter of he's able to concentrate on a lot more and get a lot more across with a smaller number of characters than a lot. Could be his JSA. Now, I've been liking his JSA. I think it'll pick up as it goes along. But as far as number one issues go, this, I think, was a better effort from him than JSA number one. I've been loving JSA, though, so far. So, also, Summoner, I have not seen anybody pick up Challengers of the Unknown. I know Sean Isaac is the one doing the art on that. I think it's Chris Cantwell that's writing it, though. That might be why nobody's been talking about it. Because Chris Cantwell cannot write well. If that's the writer, if I'm correct on who's writing that. Number 2 is Absolute Batman. This is issue number 6. This is the final issue of the opening story arc, The Zoo. Phenomenal issue. I love this issue. This was great. One of the best Batman panels of all time is in this, and I'll even show you all the panel. There's a few flashbacks in here. Basically, though, what happens is Bruce's childhood friends, who are all in this picture, who are all famous, they all grew up to be the famous Batman villains. Bruce ends up telling them his secret, that he's Batman. He tells Waylon Jones first.
Hi, I'm Batman. Hi, I'm Batman.
Shows up outside. He shows up outside Waylon's gym, and he's wearing his Batman costume. He's taking his mask off, but he's taking off his mask. And he
walks in. Oh my gosh, you're the Batman! I had no idea.
I'm Batman. And so then Waylon goes and spills the beans to all of his friends. He gets a plane ride from Oswald, which I think is funny that Oswald, the penguin, is the one who has a pilot's license.
Do you know what would be great?
Can't fly.
If like he would have said, if he would have been like told to Waylon, yeah, I'm Batman. Waylon's like, dude, yeah, we all know.
I'm glad they didn't do that. I'm glad
because like who else is this that size, that strength? You know, and the dude Bruce.
I don't know. I'm kind of glad they didn't do it. And actually, they talk about like all their reactions. They say all their reactions. Waylon wants to punch him. Harvey wants to arrest him. Eddie says the Riddler apparently guessed it already. Eddie is like this huge intellectual guy, so apparently he says he guessed it already. And then he's like, Selena will probably think it's pretty hot. Penguin's kind of peeved off about it. You get this really cool, almost Frank Miller like panel of Batman.
So who are the villains then? If all his friends are the rogues?
Well, so the main villain you have right now in this whole opening arc is Black Mask.
It's just the Roman.
Just Roman. Well, he's got everybody wearing these masks that sedate them or mind control them.
So we talked to Jeff about this earlier. So basically, is he gonna go with new villains for his rogues?
Hold on, I'm gonna go through this. We're gonna get there. My favorite scene though, so he jumps out of the plane, he lands on Roman's boat, which is where these computer servers are. He has to take out the computer servers.
Yeah.
And up until now, he's exercised restraint, kind of. He hasn't flat out killed people. I don't think he has. Maybe he has. But he grabs these life preservers and starts choke holding the crewmates that are all wearing these helmets that kind of keep them under Black Mask's mind control or hypnosis or whatever. So he puts the life jackets on them. He just throws them over the boat.
That's right. Roman has the ugly helmet.
He grabs this small child. The small child right here who has a knife that tries to stab at him, puts a life jacket on him, and then punts this kid off into the water.
With the sharks. Yeah, that's great.
It's such a great panel. I love it. Well, and then this one chick comes out, and she's just standing there. She's like, "Oh, it's you." And she just abandons ship. She just jumps off on him.
I was just going to bring that part up. I thought that was really funny.
And Batman just throws her a life preserver.
Here in the Geeky Puppet Show, we do not condone punting children.
Oh, I will. That was hysterical.
Wow.
I thought it was. I'm sorry. You can clip me. I don't care. So Batman goes. He finds Black Mask on his boat. His boat has a bowling alley. So Batman just grabs a bowling ball and just starts smacking this helmet, which apparently can withstand a bowling ball. He just starts beating them up like crazy. Just this brutal fight.
Only comics where you can repeatedly hit somebody with a bowling ball and not have their neck snap the first time.
Are we doing spoilers? Are we doing spoilers?
Dude, go ahead if you want to. I'm going to spoil all my books. I'm going to show every single panel.
Okay, if you are reading Absolute Batman and you do not want a big spoiler, I'm going to give you exactly 2 seconds to turn away from your screen.
Yeah.
And mute. All right, you got one
Hold on.
Two Mississippi. I'll even give you a third Mississippi. Okay. Batman basically stabbed. Wow. Oh, that's actually. Hey, I kind of like that. That was good. I like that. I appreciate the reference there. River Song. I like that. Batman basically stabs the dude in the eyes. Because what happened previously? So Roman's got like this wire around him. He's choking him. He's trying to cut off his circulation. Well, Batman's helmet, his ears can adjust them. So he points them down and then just headbutts and stabs them right in the eyes. It's kind of badass. But and then I don't know if he kills him or not. I'm gonna assume he does.
I was gonna say, does this Batman kill?
I think he does because the boat blows up. He blows up the boat, and I don't see his body afterwards. So it's a pretty good bet he leaves them on the boat.
But I mean, is they shown in any books before where he kills people?
I don't believe so. I'll have to go back and double check.
Because that would separate him from every other Elseworld where this Batman actually kills.
He might have. I just can't recall.
Punisher Batman.
Yeah. Batman, the boat blows up, so he ends up in the water, but then Alfred shows up, fishes him up, and starts to patch him up. Just like Alfred is wanting.
And Glenn, you are right. Silver Age Batman books have more dialogue than the new Batman, unless it's Tom King.
I'm okay with that. I'm not getting a book specifically for dialogue. If
I know, dude.
In this book.
People complain about when there's like a page and it has the same thing repeated over again and they add a thing to it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I like that in the Invincible books when they did that.
I don't care. If
it's done repeatedly, that's one thing. But
Bendis had that a lot. Tom King had that a lot. I think
Robert Kirkman did that for Walking Dead. He also did it for Invincible, and honestly, I enjoyed it.
I think it's lazy to have the artist do that. I like Dan Moore's approach where no
No,
panels look the same.
I think it's lazy if it's on a title that's not known for doing that. Previous history, though.
Walking
brand new
Dead is a
series-
zombie book. Invincible is a superhero book. Those are not panels that I want to see in a genre like that.
Have you read all of Invincible, though? Or
No,
Walking
I
Dead?
have not. I don't even want to. But
So you don't know what you're talking about, then.
You asked about villains. This is the very last page. We have this. I believe this is the Joker, and he's doing something. His skin is
Well,
that
Jeff
white.
was saying it might be Bane.
Well, no, he mentions Bane at the end.
No, I didn't say it was Bane. He said get Bane.
He says get Bane.
I think it is the Joker, but he said get Bane.
Yeah,
So
I believe this is the Joker because his skin is like that white we normally know the Joker has. But then he does something. I don't know if this is a kid or what, but he's sucking in this medicine or something, and it reverts his skin back. I don't know if it's like a Lazarus pit thing or what, but yeah, he's saying get Bane. Like hire. He finds out that Gotham City had a hiccup or something.
Yeah.
So he says, okay, well, it's time to go get Bane then. We can have him go and try to fix what's going on in Gotham. So Joker and Bane. And the next story arc is supposed to introduce Mr. Freeze as well.
Is it safe to assume that Joker is going to be jacked just as much as Batman is?
I have no idea. He didn't look like it at the end of the first issue. He didn't look like it. He looked.
But the fact that he reverted himself back to things, it looks like he might have had the Venom in his system.
Could be.
That's why he says get Bane. I need more.
Him as a Bane. I mean, this new universe, they can do whatever they want, but. I don't know if it's
we've seen Joker on Venom before. We saw it in the Arkham games. No.
Yeah. And then they give you this little preview at the end. This is the absolute Martian.
Oh my gosh, horrible.
I don't know, man. We say things about Riley Rossmo, but Riley Rossmo's art worked for Martian Manhunter. I think this could work also. I don't know.
And that's hot take for the week.
That's hardly my only hot take, but that's just the hot take of the moment. All right, there was one book that beat this, by the way.
There was, Rosie. Okay.
My number one book of the week also wrapped up a story arc, and I got the cover that I wanted for it too. My shop had all the covers. I almost got the one of Baroness at the shooting range, but I went for the Carl Kessel, the G.I. Joe. This one was actually a little bit more expensive than the normal cover A's or B's, but this was a blast and a half. This is my favorite issue of G.I. Joe so far. This wraps up the first story arc. The art is, there's a lot of action in here. It gets a little chaotic, but it fits with the chaos of combat and battle that breaks out.
Jeff, did you really like this issue?
No, so I just didn't realize the sound was on until I did that.
Because you're like, oh yeah.
I just shifted, my hip is starting to hurt.
Right after I said Baroness too.
I know, right? Too. It's questionable.
Hey, just a complete, not a coincidence. A complete, not a coincidence. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay, I'll let you have it. No, absolutely great. The Joes, they, the chips look down. They rally. They take the fight to Cobra. They start beating them with their bare hands, taking their weapons. Just absolute madness, chaos, battle, fun. Again, with the vehicles, there are several fun vehicles they show in this. Clutch steals one of the Mars giant, like an ATV almost type vehicle with a laser turret. There's the helicopters, just a ton of fun stuff in here. And then the ending page is the hook. That is where, again, spoilers, Duke and Cobra Commander meet for the first time, like face to face, and that's where the issue ends. And then Duke's like, "Who the heck are you?" Absolutely great. I've been loving this. This is cemented pretty much as my favorite Energon verse book. I was actually having a conversation with a guy at the shop yesterday. He's a big G.I. Joe fan. He's collecting all of that. I think he's got all the Marvel ones. I think he's moved into collecting the IDW ones. But we were talking about the Energon verse, and I actually found this out. Energon verse, the Void Rivals was supposed to be a limited series. It wasn't supposed to be going on this long, but it was just so popular that Robert Kirkman and then just continued it. But this has been great, though. Absolutely great. I can't wait for the next issue. I think issue number 7, we're getting some new Joes added. I think Beachhead will show up in issue number 7. So I'm still just counting down, waiting for like Lady J and Scarlet and Snake Eyes to join, and Shipwreck. Shipwreck is my favorite. But yeah, this was great. If you only have to get one comic this week, this is the one that I would recommend. If you could get 3, I would throw Absolute Flash and Absolute Batman in there. But this was my favorite one by far. So,
All righty then.
comics with Zach.
Comics with Zach. Yeah, if you didn't like these, your birthday clowns. You heard it here.
That's right. That's right.
All right. That's it? No back issues?
Nope, just the one on my shoulder from working out too much yesterday.
All right.
And you still have the spoiler warning going, RDV, but that's okay because I know you're about to spoil all
Yeah,
of
I'm about to spoil a lot of books. So, and like I said, that's it for the new people who are joining us. There's, I know, we usually only have like right now 14, 12, 10 people, but we were picking up around like 19, 20. I don't know, people are just popping in to see about Absolute Batman. So I don't know.
Absolute Flash, yeah, Joe, any of those?
Absolute Flash. So I haven't checked lately, but before you came on, we were talking about League Comic Geeks, how the poll for the people voting the pick of the week,
yes,
is false, because you look based on the rankings of the books where people were actually reading stuff. Flash was nowhere near that.
I saw you put that in there, and I wanted to type out a response, but it would have been way too wordy. So this is my retort to that. It's not false. When you're looking at the pick of the week, you're looking at the general population. It's very easy for folks to go in and click, oh, this is my favorite book. They can do it in like 5 seconds. And that's just like your general consensus of what the most popular book that week is.
Those are people who are basically voting on picture alone. They're probably not even reading it.
Picture? Well, no. What happens is it's a lot more of a lengthy process to go in there and individually review each book that you're doing. Like, oh, this is a 4.2, or this is a 5, or this is whatever. And,
specialists. It's a popular vote where the actual vote is actually what the rankings are.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you want to look at it that way, you can. I don't think it's false, though. I think the pick of the week is pretty.
Because if that's true, these people will be actually going in and actually ranking the actual book.
People don't have time to. I don't have time to do that. I don't have time to go in and spend a minute reviewing every comic book. I had 10 comics tonight. That's almost an hour.
All right,
I have an hour to spare.
And what I think people are doing is they'll just it's supposed to be like the big pick of the week, the big speculation book of the week. They're going to say, oh, this is the one you want.
But thank you for reminding me. I do need to go in and put Absolute Flash as my pick of the week. No, I'm just kidding. It's going to be G.I. Joe.
All right. This week's Walking Dead Deluxe issue came out as 109, and this is basically Maggie at Hilltop, going to basically she's still pregnant with Glenn's baby, Sorry, spoiler, because Zach, you didn't read this.
I know. This is a reprint. This originally happened like 10 years ago.
Yeah, but you said you didn't read any of it, though.
I didn't, but I mean, between the show and people talking online, like I know
the show is different. Dude, the show is different from the books.
I know, but people, when the show was coming out, people would talk openly about the differences. So I know how this all goes.
Anyway, so this is 109. I believe this goes only for is it 150 or 149 when it finally ends? But
I think it's 149 because it's a really obscure number. I don't think it went to 150.
But anyway, the reason I've been picking this up because you get the actual notes from him when he's writing the actual book. Oh. Also exclusive interviews. You get some cover art here too as well.
That's not bad.
And then listener, there you can always tell in the Golden Age comics that the gangsters were all gangsters because they always said "C" like every other word.
So this is all the new content you've been getting in the back of there. More stories. And honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if they decided to basically continue the series with 150, 151. But who knows? This is my way of physically collecting it. I've read it all online, so I wanted to get the actual individual issues, and this is nice color format.
Too, so that's nice.
Number 10 for this week. This actually is a 3.6. Well, it's correct on the actual ranking because as much as I like the character, Joelle Jones set the bar so freaking high. Ram V tried to meet that but fell short.
Mm-hmm.
And then Trini Howard really just kicked it in the nuts and set it on fire, and then me too'd it. And they
This is
come back here.
Runback, though, isn't it?
It's a turn run back. This is a Selena Kyle story without Gotham City whatsoever. This is her. Basically, she's over in Europe, trying to basically settle an old score or in a past life because she's had over the years she's had different aliases before she was in Gotham, and she's trying to. Someone's basically been trying to kill her. One of her old aliases when she was known as Evie. She was working with this old family, and they've been basically put a hit on her. This is her basically getting revenge. And it's been kind of like a letdown. It's like every time she gets ahead, she basically gets her ass handed to her at the end of the book. So I'm like, I don't know where this is going, but it just seemed like she had the upper hand. And then one of the family members basically comes in and just knocks her out. They still don't know that she's Selena Kyle, which I think is hilarious. It's like these are super villains.
They hadn't put the one-on-one together.
But yeah, so it wasn't that great. Oh yeah, they also advertising this movie here.
Oh yeah, the Batman Ninja.
I saw a new one with the Superman Yakuza or like
I think Wonder Woman was in that too. I thought.
I did not like Batman Ninja. I thought it was horrible.
Glynn's I think there's got to be at least 9.
So this is the cover I originally got. It was on my pull list, but I didn't have the other one I wanted, so I had to go to the other shop, and I finally did get the better art. So.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so I wanted to get the Dan Panasian art. Or Panasian. But that is my number 10 for this week. All right. Number 9 for this week actually is really cool. It's Silverhawks. This is Ed Brisson writing this. Kind of fun, man. Remember you're bringing up the whole casino?
Yes.
That's what this is, the Starship Casino that's going on. Where one of the former members of the Silverhawks, because they're all retired. They're not part of the team anymore because it's been 100 years since the cartoon series ended. Their main villain went to jail. So, meanwhile, in the Hark Haven in the Limbo Galaxy, they're training the new Silverhawk leader. He just woke up. He's freaking out because now he's like a cyborg, and all his men were killed by this guy in this failed ops. And basically, he gets talked to by the main guy. I forgot what his name is in here, but he
Quicksilver.
Yeah.
It looks like Marvel Quicksilver.
Yeah. Well, no, that's what the guy's name is, actually. His name is Quicksilver.
Like there is some weird borderline copyright infringement going on. It looks almost exactly like Marvel Quicksilver.
Meanwhile, one of the other guys, he's a guy with the guitar. You see him in the cartoon series stuff. He's on the cover here. He's been basically he basically had quit the job of basically being a hero, and he went to pursue his other hobby, which was music. While they're in a casino there with his new girl and all, they do an act, and they're not really making that far because they're not that popular. He sees Monstar, who basically is Lionel, evil with one eye. And he's gonna like go and get out of there, and he's gonna leave only to be betrayed by the girl he thought loved him, and so then we get some ads for Hercules and Space Quest, the new Johnny Quest Space Quest.
Oh, interesting.
Joe Casey, yeah. So the new guy is actually getting a lot of training in. So basically, like I said, this book has been kind of a slow burn, but it's actually been fun. Now, I've never watched the actual cartoon series, but they tell you just enough to know what's going on. They're recruiting a whole new team of Silverhawks for this because the other ones are too old. Even though they're cybernetic bodies, they still have human elements where basically they're just outdated. They just don't, and a lot of them don't want to fight anymore. They have all their civilian lives. So basically, he's betrayed in this, and he ends up being rescued by one of the magician guys that was with him before. He's probably from the series. And they're basically heading back to the Silverhawks base to warn them that Monstar is loose over at this galaxy casino. I love space stuff. I mean, when it comes to this, like this is like Cowboy Bebop or anything that takes place in outer space like this. Been a fun book so far. All right. Number 8 is The Flash. Absolute Flash. Like I said, I'm mixed on this. There's things I like and things I don't like. The art is done by, I believe, does it say a name here?
I'm not familiar with the artist.
Well, the
It
artist,
is
it's
Nick
Nick
Rubble.
Rubble. So the cover artist is also the interior artist. So
Yeah.
and you've seen this in the previews. You know, this is like really cool art. I like this.
Yeah, it's real good.
Wally has powers, but he also has, it looks like he's vibrating or something like that. So basically he's having these little attacks, and he's trying to keep it together. He doesn't know what's going on. There is no speed force in this. So for us who know the speed force and you have stuff, we recognize what's kind of going on, but we don't know if that's the direction they're taking it. But as you said, the 2
I'm
days
kind of
ago,
glad there's no Speed Force because a lot of times writers will overcomplicate the Speed Force.
well, I'm afraid, as long as he doesn't get with Artemis and they kill him off. That's all. But I like this. 2 days ago, we've seen this a lot of movies, how they do that. So it's nothing new. Him coming back in the base, thinking back, Barry catches like he's basically being like, "Oh, hey, your dad's gonna kick your ass." You know, you keep sneaking up, but Barry recognizes that, you know, this is a troubled kid. He's an only child, and he has no friends. So Barry shows him in. He's like, "Hey, you want to see this? What I'm working on? I can't really tell you and stuff, but he's got all these different chimp stuff, and it's, yeah, yeah. Like I said, it's kind of cool. The art is really good on this. His dad comes in and says, basically gets in Barry's face, and his dad's all grumpy. Kind of looks like Paul from Amazing Spider-Man. He does.
I hate that now. I can't unsee that.
And then we get back to the present, because Barry was remembering stuff. This is basically, as Barry moves on, he's remembering things. Well, basically flashbacks. But like I said, I love the arts in here, the way they do things. We get the first appearances of the Rogues.
Yep.
Who looks more like Jameson as Captain Cold.
He looks like that guy from Heroes. He was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He was the army guy.
Yeah. Also,
Ben Talbot.
Golden Glider is race swap. That's my other problem. I'm sick of this shit.
Golden Glider looks hot.
I thought it was Valkyrie from Marvel, Thor verse. So anyway, and then the background, it's a girl. Trickster is a girl. I don't notice it now. You can tell. He's got the little orange helmet. That's Captain Kangaroo. Sorry, Captain
Boomerang.
You know. And yeah, so they're being sent to track him down. He runs into this cave. He starts freaking out again, but then basically he has a little attack again, and he ends up basically going up, remembering a flashback from the day before. Yeah. His dad actually isn't that bad of a dad. He comes in, he actually starts having a talk with them, you know. But then it ends up being a fight because basically he's like, dude, I don't have any friends because of you, and he's like, the only reason I'm still with you is because if Mom was alive, we basically would have left you because you're an asshole. That's kind of funny. What's up, Imperial Goddess? Thank you for the lurk. She's watching over on Twitch.
Wally had no.
So Wally. This leads to Wally running out as a typical teenager does. He's only 15 years old in this.
Yeah, he's 15.
Runs into the lab in the middle when Barry was doing his experiment. Barry's got the costume on. And this leads to basically Wally getting hit with the rays. But also, we keep them flashback to the Rogues chasing after him again. It's kind of like I said, I can understand what you're saying as far as the back and forth.
Yeah.
It's
kind of whiplashy, but it's the Flash. If there's any character you're going to do that with, I think the Flash is acceptable.
This is supposed to be Barry dead.
Yep.
He's got the badge on, you know, and while he's beating him up, he's in the cave. He's seeing Barry's dead body there in the cave.
Hopefully he stays dead.
So I'm thinking maybe Barry's not dead. Maybe Barry is just alive, and he thinks he's dead because he ran away.
I'm not speaking that into existence. Barry is gone. No Barry Allen.
Flash forward to 1 year later.
Wally only.
We see an arm sticking its through there, and someone's talking, and I'm wondering if they let's gonna go on with this, but basically it ends up being Mirror Master is in there.
Mirror Master.
Wally's got a costume No. And so I'm curious. How it's been a year since they know. There's all these flashbacks. It's like Arrow, but it's on like meth.
Wouldn't
Yeah.
it be Mirror Governor?
I'm not saying here.
Excuse me, Breen's not here. We can say what we want to say now. We're not
That's
oppressed.
right.
Okay.
We don't have time for that.
So,
Yeah.
honestly, I'm kind of mixed on it because I do like Barry, but I also like Wally being 15 years old and
Waller's
experiencing, just learning how to deal with everything he's doing. He's not a hero yet. I've been banned from Twitch chat. Someone cannot create humor. Who banned you? Should have been
Not us. I think he's just been banned in general. I don't think it was on your channel.
on my channel, Glinzer, or general.
Boop! Breen is here. He took 2 seconds from his basketball watching
Oh,
to
hey, it's Breen. You know, I think Breen's just watching. He's just been lurking, and he heard that. He's like, "Oh my gosh!"
I think so.
Yeah. Always watching, Wachowski.
Always watching.
Alrighty. Number 7. It's Rockefellers.
Number 7.
I like this, and this is not the best book they have going over at Image on as far as their I keep forgetting this is Ghost Machine, right? Yeah,
Yes.
because they see the giant image thing, and I'm like, there's a little bitty ghost thing, but overall, I thought this was great. We get to see more of Roland, I think his name is Roman. Is a father named Roman?
The
In this
father's
series?
name is. That's a good question.
I'll just call him Pedro Pascal. Pedro Pascal's brother in the future.
Tony Stark.
Yeah. Literally, he's Reed Richards.
He really
spent-
is.
They make
He's
a comment that he spent.
through Tony Stark's mustache.
So they make a comment about how he spent so much time in the basement and he forgets to pick up his kids
Yep.
from the school and stuff. But overall, the art's been decent here. Like I said, to get the flashback at the beginning with the mom. It's just been a Roland. Okay.
It is Roland. Okay.
Okay.
They all start with, I think all the names start with R's actually.
So, but I love this. It's just like if Sue and Reed went on a date and like, let's go play. And she's like, we're going to play hockey. And Reed's the goalie and gets hit with the base puck and it breaks the base. And she's like, we should do this again. And he's like, how about once a month? She's like, once a week.
Yeah, all their names start with R. They
Yeah,
have
and
that order.
of course, here comes they keep including the grandfather. So like the past 2 issues, he's been running. That's
He stays in shape. Don't body shame the guy.
You got the old lady. Yeah, the old ladies are in love with them, checking out his butt. That's why they're behind him. And then
he jumps in front of this car and saves his kid.
Yep. Yeah.
He's a
Meanwhile,
hero.
these have been my favorite characters. Oh my gosh, hold on. There's a brain here. I thought you were watching Sports Ball, sir.
I am. This day has sucked hard.
So you gave us Sports Ball to join us?
No, I'm just not going to give it my full attention because it sucked hard.
Well, we are doing spoilers if you have not read books.
I've read them all.
Okay, cool. I like these brothers. The two.
These European.
It's like if you had Brioche and his brother.
So if he's European, does that mean he doesn't shower and he wears a Speedo?
Jeff, just because he's here doesn't tell him bad jokes, okay? He'll leave again.
I've been listening for a while. He didn't need me to do that.
But I love these. I love it because basically the son has been hacking and stealing from their accounts, microtransitions. This guy fell asleep. They kind of like, oh, you've been working too hard. Go take a break. And they throw him off and they use him as a moral boost. Like if you don't do what I say, you're gonna get killed like this guy.
It's kind of a cartoony mustache twirly villain moment, but
then we get the Bart Simpson moment where he's I'm not eating class, so he's using his technology to cheat and Meanwhile, they're told they're not supposed to use their tech, outside the home, and the daughter, she's collecting birds now.
Yeah, I think she's supposed to feed birds.
Yeah. So yeah. Like I said, it's just this issue's kind of all over the place a little bit.
It is a little.
I don't know what their goal is, other than that they're being pursued. But
The last third with the Western, the time witness protection thing was the best part.
Yeah, I said back in the 1800s. This dude they call him, what do they call him, the Saka or something? Their tribe, Lakota Sioux, yeah, tribe. So they're mad because he basically killed a bunch of their buffaloes, and they're gonna kill him. So he goes out there and basically says, like, talks to them and says, and he comes back, tells the guy, he's like, what do you say? It's like, well, because I didn't die, I didn't become immortal, I think I'm a god. Because she was shot with arrows, she didn't seek revenge, so they believe that she's a god. So she bargains for this guy's life, saying, basically saying he has to return his the stolen pelts, that he's and quit crossing their burial grounds and stealing the valuables from their dead. So he basically does. He honors the deal, goes return everything, only where the all gets slaughtered by this person who's pursuing the family. And the only I can think is, hey, Geekeasy back. What's up, bro?
Sorry, I was doing something and I hit the wrong button.
Oh. Fortunate for us, you came back, right?
Yep. Fortunately for everybody.
So, I don't know. We get to see that the face is kind of smashing this person. I would not be surprised if the face reveal is somehow tied to the family, who this person is. Maybe it's the grandmother pissed for being left behind.
No, I don't think that's it.
But yeah, so we get more of like a dossier on the grandfather now, the background, and then it gets more previews for the other books coming out.
Hey, Breen, doesn't that grandfather look like that guy from the exercise guy from back in the day?
Jack LaLanne?
Yeah.
I forgot what Jack LaLanne looked like.
This looks more like Chris Evans. What are you talking about?
You don't
Went back and tried some of that life you recommended. Yeah, Captain America. Number 6 this week is Conan the Barbarian. I like this. We even get a mention of someone who basically has been hunting him. Well, we know that Black Panther's been hunting this. We don't know what the story is until you open up and you're like, hey, it takes place after Bolit's death. The last 2 chapters kind of was like leading up where they're going to go on his heights and stuff. This immediately starts with him having memories of her, and artist does not hold back on drawing her looking really good. But he's got a funeral pyre for her. Apparently, her and a crew died on their travels on the boats.
Rip.
Because they were leaving, and just like, yeah, so they didn't make it. The art on this is just immaculate. I love this art. So basically, Conan is now on his island. He's searching for food. He ends up falling down into this river, battles a crocodile, and basically kills it. I thought he was going to eat it, because that's what Conan does. He's like, I kill things and I do things. It's on a funeral pyre or a pyre, and he's eating it. Rotisserie. But now he just ends up stabbing it through the head. And he's washed ashore, and then he basically keeps going on because he says, I'm gonna keep Bolit's love for me alive. I'm not gonna give up. She wouldn't want me to. And he knows that something's been tracking him. He doesn't know what it is, but it's been tracking him. So he's been getting annoyed by that. He's like, come on, attack me, whoever you are. And along the way, he comes across his tribe, tries to barter with them gold for water, fresh water, but they deny him. It says, death follows you. You are not welcome here. Get out. And as he's sitting there, he goes, he sets a fire. He says, whoever's following me will come to me soon, because and I'll be ready for them to take him down. Turns out it's a panther. Spoiler, if you didn't know by the cover.
Panther God Bast.
But it actually is a really cool epic fight scene here with him, with the panther. And he describes, like, this dance of death this panther wants to do is a little bit different than most paths, most animals. It's more human than it is mankind. He's also remembered too while he's struggling his belief, because he's still grieving, and even though she's dead, her love gives him strength, and he ends up besting the panther to realize that it's not really a panther. It is a man pretending to be a panther. It is Zulu. If you don't know who Zula is, Zula was introduced by Roy Thomas back in the day. in the original Conan Barbarian. It was Conan. I believe it was Conan Barbarian. Yeah, 84 by Roy Thomas and I believe also John Buscema and Ernie Chan. So they got a new character. Well, not a new character to the series, but new to the Titan series. His first appearance of him in the Titan-led Conan books. And looks like they're going to be allies. Is that I'm Zula, the brother of the beast, guardian of the grasslands, and my soul shall not rest until all serpents are slain. Will we have Tulsa Doom showing up later? Who knows? But, all right, number 5 this week. And Zach, I couldn't hold back. I got this cover.
I saw somebody else did too. I think it was Sully from the Comic Aficionados got that one. I held that in my hand. They had that. They had the David Finch cover. That one right there. And,
I got both.
I saw both of those, but I saw the Carl Keschel one. I had to go for the Keschel. But the Gun Range and the David Finch.
The Gun Range reminds me of Adam Hughes cover. Or John Royal.
I'm really liking Stars now for some reason.
I know, right?
Right? You've got stars in your eyes? Are you going to be a jukebox hero?
Jukebox hero.
So,
Good
honestly, Zach has already talked about this, so has Jeff. I'll just go over stuff that I liked in here. The Joes are pretty much held hostage by Destro. And he basically threatens to kill them. He even touches Baroness' hair. I'm thinking, like, oh, she's going to kill him in the end. Pulls on his hair.
Baroness bites back at him. You see his face change.
Yeah. And, of course, the other chick, we got girl action here. Like they're going to fight, you know?
Yeah.
Only he's like I said, he's like basically after this, he's like basically wants to know how do you know the money and the brainwave scanner were at our next target. You were able to meet us at both locations. And Duke starts laughing. He's like, "What's so funny?" he's like, you just gave yourself away, Chrondome. I do know something you don't. Clutch, hit it. And I love this. Clutch basically uses their new weapon, which uses Energon. It's a tank, and this starts taking apart all his enemies. Even the big dude who thought he was who betrayed the Joes, thought he was gonna be a badass. Cowers. Meanwhile, Cobra Commander wants to use the brainwave bomb to take over, and basically anybody who's in the radius will be loyal to them. But it won't go too far. They want to drop it in. The original plan was drop it in Washington D.C. so they can take control of Congress. I know, right? But they need to test it, and well, they don't have any tests. So Cobra Commander is like, well, we'll just use you then. Screw you. But yeah, it's just so much action in this issue. Clutch has become one of my favorite characters.
Clutch is cool. I like Clutch. Stalker. There's a really cool 2 panels in there where Stalker kicks a guy and grabs the shotgun. Actually, it's 3 panels. Right there. He kicks the guy, he grabs the shotgun in midair, and then he shoots the guy. That's a really cool series right there.
Destro almost gets killed, but he's saved. And he's basically told we need to flee. As well. But he's like, no. Well, the Joes are leaving. They're going to go in a helicopter. He says, screw this. I'm getting the action figure toy, the one everybody has as a kid. The little helicopter. Personal, he's going to chase him. Only to realize that the Duke stayed behind. He didn't go with the Joes.
He did not.
Because
Duke pulls the gun on Cobra Commander.
Yep.
I love it.
I love that last page.
He's like, who the hell are you? I've known. That's how it ends.
They finally meet.
Yep. Next issue, though, I think they're gonna finally meet a Transformer. Because and it shows. I think it was an Ironhide. Who was the Jeep in the Transformers books? Jay would know this if he was here.
Was a van, I thought.
There was a green military Jeep that was one of the original Transformers in the TV series.
Was red in the original. I don't know.
Not Long Haul. I can't remember. It was something like that. But yeah, really fun book. Alrighty then. Now we're getting into the top 5. Actually, that was my number 5. Yeah, that was my number 5, J. Joe.
Oh yeah, it's the Daniel Warren Johnson variant.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if that's going to be tight because we know where he had the Transformers.
I think it was Hound.
Hound, yeah.
Which, if you've seen the Michael Bay movies, it's the guy that's voiced by John Goodman.
Yep.
That's how I know him.
Yeah. Number 4 for this week is Dick Tracy. Wow. Shocking ending, but overall, we know that Fangs is at his club. He basically has some smoke, and then Dick Tracy's partner comes up to him, basically gets in a scuffle, starts beating him up. Only for Fangs guys come out and break up the fight, and he basically flees. Meanwhile, Dick Tracy goes meets Breathless Mahoney in a different joint, wants to speak to her and stuff, and for exchange for information. Also, we got back at the precincts. We got Pure Heart, or is it Pure Heart or True Heart?
True Heart.
Yeah, is basically talking to one of the guys there and says like, "Hey, my dad used to go here for information all the time. He's like, I'll pay you whatever." He's like, "It's like, I want to know what's going on. How does this guy who has access to all the files, on the everything?" And she says like, "Well, there's a list, It's like, and she says like, "No, let's act like you're okay." So you sit there to look though. Pretty much any detective can check those files, and everyone has at least once. But there's one guy who's been spending a lot of time going over the blanks, who the blanks been slicing and dicing, and it's Patton, who we saw in the very beginning of the issue. It's Dick Tracy's partner. So she goes. She's just gonna go to his place. That he's not, and meanwhile, Dick Tracy is basically going there, and he's come across Breathless Mahoney's been kidnapped by the Blank. He was supposed to have a meeting with her at her place, but she got kidnapped. And I gotta say this reminds me of Red Hood and Batman. Remember?
A little bit.
On the catwalk, the chemicals at the bottom there. Someone being held hostage, hanging from the thing, and it's just been a fun series, man. It's just like the detective stuff. If she tries to move, he has a detonator. He can basically blow up the rope that she's hanging on the crane, causing it to be destroyed. And it basically, so he said, "Do you trust me?" He's like, "What?" And he basically pushes her aside, shoots the rope, so she lands down, and he's able to catch her. I think that was pretty good. Well, but meanwhile, Fangs shows up in his basically his act. He's been stabbed by the Blank. He shows up in his club, and he says like, "Get me Dick Tracy." It's like, there's a bomb being thrown into the vat of acid or whatever it was, explodes. And at the very end, it leaves with her basically Trueheart confronting Patton, who's got a black eye, and basically he's not going to let her leave at the end of this, So we're led to believe that Patton is the Blank, and I don't believe it is. I think it's just a setup. Because how could he be the Blank if Breathless Mahoney was kidnapped, unless he ran back?
That's a good point.
But at the end, Fangs tells Dick Tracy, "The Blank is your partner, Patton," and we're led to believe that. Like I said, it's a kind of a red herring ending. Because that'd be just too easy to show. Oh yeah, your partner is the Blank. I don't believe that. I think his partner is an idiot and was getting tired of waiting around. He's a Harvey Bullock type character. So
yeah,
I don't see him being the bad guy.
But I don't think the Harvey Bullock is stupid. Is dumb though.
Are you kidding me? You watch the animated series?
No, he's not dumb. I don't think he's dumb. I think he's street smart. He's not dumb.
And also, you remember on the animated series, Harvey Bullock was framed for a murder he didn't do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So number 3 for me is Batman and Robin. Very good series by Mark Waid. Even though I don't agree with him, and I think the guy's a complete asshole, and I'd punch him in the face if I met him, allegedly, for legal purposes. But we get to learn about Dick Tracy's life as a trapeze artist, and then bring out Bruce Alfred got through the Bruce. It says, "Hey, go to the bat bike. Try and find Dick Grayson. He snuck out. Only find that there's a note and it says waiting, Grimaldi. mean, it's basically that's letting know that they have him hostage there. We get some clips from Dick Grayson and basically saying that one of the goons is an idiot, and it's because he says something like a word, and the guy's like, "What is that?" He says Batman's gonna slough this whole place. He's like, dude's like, what? He's like, sorry, I guess they don't teach vocabulary at the zoo. Meanwhile, we see this Batman looks like he's gonna crash through the thing. Only it turns out it's not a Batman, it's a glider. Because Batman was not there. Batman was in this secret lab that the general had, and they turned this dude into like a behemoth monster. They inject him, and he's in pain. The lab starts on fire. Word gets back that basically that Batman is not there. He's at the lab, and there's a fire. And he said, "Get out!" And basically the general's like, "Just grab all the sensitive files that are us. Who cares about the bat and the rest of the building? Let it burn up."
Is that supposed to be Clayface that they turned him into?
Don't think so, but we know that Clayface was in the last issue, though.
Oh, that's right. Never mind.
Unless meanwhile, it shows that Dick Grayson doesn't need help. He basically just loosens the knots because he said these guys suck at doing knots. He gets free. Batman ends up trying to save the guy to turn into a monster, but the chemicals touch and cause explosion. He jumps out the window, and you get this kind of the moment where like you see Dick Grayson using stuff, and he's gonna tightrope walk across these buildings to get free himself. As Batman shows up, he's like, "Oh, what took you so long?" Bottom page. So that's kind of funny. Because Batman smirks. At the end, they kind of have like not a falling out, but like more like a reconcile. He finally gets Robin to basically reveal more, basically loosen up more. They get an argument.
That's the part I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
I really
love that. The argument, he's like, because Bruce is like, "You're not gonna listen. You're not taking it seriously," and he snaps back because I haven't taken it seriously. It's been 4 weeks since my parents died. I could have quit back then, but I kept going because I know there's other kids my age. I don't want them to ever go through the shit that I went through. And Bruce basically he's like, finally, it's like you're finally opening up to me. That's why I'm smiling because it's taking we are much alike. But it's great to see that they both share the same anger, the same commitments.
Robin looks like a younger version of what's his name from
Owen.
From Owen. Yeah, he looks like a very young Owen. He can draw two guys, and one of them is Owen.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Actually, I take that back. Two-Face and Josh Brolin with the mustache there.
It's Owen with Two-Face. No, just kidding. Actually, that looks more like Conquest from the Invincible series. But anyway, Two-Face comes in and says, like, "I got information for you. You might want this." He's like, "Why would I want it for you? I have everything I need." He's like, "Well, Gordon's been putting a file, basically, case about who Bruce Wayne's secret identity is, who he might be, and one of the files is Bruce Wayne on there. He's one of the people they think who it might be. So that kid leaves in a cliffhanger." Like
you said that wrong. You said who Bruce Wayne's secret identity would be, and one of them would be Bruce Wayne.
I'm sorry, but I don't give a damn. You get the gist what I'm talking about.
Being a dick.
Yes. Well, yeah. Don't be a dick. You'll never be Robin. No, but yeah, like I said, I love this. They're gonna because the file on Batman, who he really is, and I don't recognize any of these names at all. I mean, I don't know if it's supposed to be or not, but
no, I don't recognize any of those names.
Yeah, but honestly, though, they show Bruce Wayne in there. I'm hoping that this keeps going well because this has been fun. This is an ongoing series. Is it a 12-issue miniseries or is this an ongoing? You guys know?
I thought it was a miniseries.
Because this has just been fun.
I think it's a mini.
$3.99. This is one of the. There's only 2 good Batman books out right now. And sorry, I know you guys are absolute Batman, but Batman and Robin, Year One by Mark Waid, and the other book is Dan Waters, Batman Dark Patterns.
Absolute Batman belongs on that list, and World's Finest belongs on that list.
World's Finest is like I don't know.
It's got Batman. It's literally Batman. He's the first name in the credit.
You
Batman, Superman, World's
Batman centric. All right, number 2 is Sonic the Hedgehog.
That's not a bad cover.
I was mad this wasn't a wraparound cover.
I kind of like that one a little bit more, but
well, I get cover A's. Cover A's for some reason seem to be taking a price more than the
they're
variants.
also they're cheaper. They're usually at least $1 cheaper.
But yeah. Every time I see this, I'm like it's Eggman and his little floating
it's very
device.
Eggman-esque. It's very Eggman-esque.
Or like Bison. Remember in the Street Fighter movie, he had the little floating hovercraft. Yeah. So anyway, they show up. The pair teams start coming out. The Sonic team decides to take them down, but realize they can't defeat them. So they decide, like, well, let's get out of here. And it's very good writing. This is Ian Flynn writing it. I believe the artist is it's Thomas, but what's his first name? Adam Bryce Thomas, who is actually the arter, and they have Matt Herm. So basically, it's the whole team from the Sonic universe, IDW, doing this whole entire thing. So as they're running away, we get to see the Master Emerald is being being pursued by the Parademons. Desan we need a power source, so they go after the Master Emerald. They destroy it because that's the one thing they could stop them from acquiring the power source and need to negate it, because they're going after the Chaos Crystals in that series. Yeah, or emeralds, whatever. Anyway, so we get this is my favorite part of the whole entire series so far. This first issue is Wally. I believe is it Barry or Wally? I'm not sure.
If I had to guess, I would think it's Barry. But
yeah, but anyway, they react.
I think I'm wrong.
And they kind of like, it's like, if you catch up with it, you can help out. And he's like, really? Because I love this. This is basically Sonic, the way he's written. It reminds me of the Sonic from the movie. The same kind of clips and everything, which has also been included in actually the cartoon, or not cartoon series, and also the IDW series. So these two are basically, they're competing over who's faster. And he's like, and Sonic's like, faster? You mean I'm faster than you, bro. Is like, it's like, listen, kid, I'm the Flash. I'm speed perfected. He's like, so Sonic's like, yeah, then I'm speed perfected, bro. And he leaves him in his dust. So, yeah. Meanwhile, we got the other team ups we mentioned earlier in the stream here. We got Green Lantern teaming up with Silver, and Silver's complimenting. He's like, what? You have a device that can do whatever you want to do? That's sweet, bro.
I do like how Jon Stewart asked him, do you have any other powers? And Silver's like, no, I'm just a hedgehog.
Yeah,
John's like, just a hedgehog.
He says, yeah.
That was funny. I forgot.
Shadow and Batman having this like a little moment together. I love this. And they run out. They run like Batman and Robin down the alleyway. I love it because they're on the ground protecting the Sun City. What's it called? Remember what the city is called? I remember, or Sky City, or something like that.
I can't recall. I know.
Anyway, we get this robot attacking. So Amy and Tails decide to take it down, only be helped out by Wonder Woman and Cyborg.
He does say booyah, so we know Ray Fisher was not involved.
Yeah, I know, right? Meanwhile, Calback's attacking everything, and then he gets taken out by Knuckles. And he's like, that's where dropping my eye out of the sky. He's like, I further help that. So then Superman just drops down on him.
Superman does that.
Push to the ground. And he's like, boom.
That was actually fun. Also.
And this is where we get the first idea where the Superman and him Knuckles already knew each other. So Superman must have saved.
Superman comes and saves him.
Yeah, we didn't see that though until now.
Yeah, we did. You're right. Yeah.
As a guy, yeah. So they all have their own team up. They're all laying up and they introduce us with each other. And here's the other thing too. This is what threw me off. If that's Barry, why is he leaning on Batman's cape like that?
Maybe he is Wally. League of Comic Geeks said it was Wally and not Barry. I don't know how
it might be Wally. Yeah, it reminds me of the Justice League from the cartoon series.
I think this was written back. This must have been written years ago because it feels like. I mean, this is the Justice League lineup from the Zack Snyder movie, so yeah. I feel like this must have been written a while back.
It might have been.
Cyborg. I mean, I don't know.
like I said, they're all working together, and Shadow's like this thing. Like, I work alone. So Batman's like, I'll handle him. And Batman's like, who was it? And Shadow's like, what? The one you couldn't protect, the one you couldn't save. And he's like, how would you? He's like, and so Shadow's like, her name was Maria. She was gunned down by the military while trying to keep me safe, me and the ultimate life form. And Batman's like, for me, it was my parents. I was too young to weak. I was too weak to do anything. That pain, the anger, that never leaves you. I see it in you too. I swore to never let it happen again, to protect the city of my parents' love, to protect their world, and I will use every advantage at my disposal. That includes the Justice League. You're a valuable aspect. It's in stopping Darkseid. Likewise, we'd be valuable to you. And Shadow's like, you better be worth the trouble. So because like I saw that they're very like they write them as being the same pretty much. I love it. It would have been great if he's like, oh, who was it? Martha. Why did you say that name? That would have been better with the jokes. But they want a more serious mode. They're gonna basically Tail says, I have a way of tracking down the Chaos Emeralds, but like I need a little help. And Cyborg actually works with him, and I love their little interactions with him. He's like, Tail's like, maybe once it's all over, we can trade specs. I've got an arm cannon I've been thinking for a while. He's like, yeah, but somehow I don't think you want to have like a full body like me and you do. It's a choice. He's like, yeah, I'll pass. No offense. Everyone's working together. We even get mentioned, like, Amy's got. He's like, oh, because one was, you got a flying car? He's like, well, I can't fly, but you can fly. But Wonder Woman mentions, like, I have an invisible jet. And she's like, you have an invisible jet? We see them on the bad bikes throwing, and then of course everyone else working together. Like I said, this is very much a kid's book. I love it, and honestly, that's all you really. If you're gonna have kids books, make them kid friendly, and that's what they're doing here. There's nothing being injected. There's no preaching moments. It's just basically Darkseid is the villain trying to steal the Chaos Emeralds, and Sonic makes new friends with the Justice League, and they're gonna defeat them. Yeah, but like you said, at the end, he shows, they come across Darkseid. Pretty much. Like I said, did not expect to like this much. You know what? The reason I didn't like this, and I think Zach liked it too, because it's actually the writer of Sonic. It's not John Ridley writing Sonic, someone who's never written before. We're actually getting someone who's actually expert on the characters, but the person writing but Ian Flynn writing the actual or Ian as Zach says, as he cringes.
That's how it's pronounced. IAN is Ian.
I've never heard anybody pronounce it other than YouTubers. Okay, so I don't know what the correct pronunciation is. But
they have that public school education.
You mispronounced pronunciation.
But overall, very fun book.
Very fun. I agree. I think it's only going to be 3 issues though, which is a little bit of a bummer.
Well, it might be more. I think it might be 5 actually.
They only have 3 up on League of Comic Geeks.
We talked about this last night.
Oh, we did talk about this, didn't we? We did. You're right. 1 of 5. You're right.
5 down here. On the
You're right. I forgot.
Yeah. All right. But the best issue of the whole entire week is Superman, The Last Days of Lex Luthor.
That is a big honking book, too. I saw that at my shop. That is huge. Like, height.
It's magazine size.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be. Yeah. It's supposed to be that size.
They put out books like that every once in a while.
Yeah.
Like the
I didn't realize
original Black Label size.
It's a Black Label.
It's magazine size, but I don't know. Something about the
It's Black Label. All of them are like this size. They're all. Even the Aquamans are like that. Void Song. This was really kind of cool. I mean, and then also the poll here is like they have a poll that says, should Superman save Lex Luthor? Everyone says they're against. And even Jimmy's like, well, if it's Lex Luthor, he should just kill him. It's like it'd be better off without him. There's no good in him. He's like, and I love Lewis says like, Super doesn't kill. Full stop. If he gives in snaps Luthor's neck, why not the Jokers? Then just Strokes. How about Putins? It's a long list. Yeah, we've got mentioned Putin.
Yeah, I was going to say. Thank you, Mark Wade. Thanks for telling us who the bad guy is, Mark Wade. Because we wouldn't know without your leftist perspective.
I know, and that was the only thing that I really cringed
I'm
about.
surprised she didn't have a fucking Ukraine pin on her lapel.
Yeah, but anyway, though, I kind of glanced over the name when I read it through it. So anyway, because it didn't really phase me as much.
No,
Because
but it was.
it's in there though.
And if it's a Silver Age, if it's like a Silver Age Elseworlds,
I don't think this is Silver Age though. That's the thing.
That's the way Jimmy looks, though.
I think there's
because there's no Perry White.
Uh,
There's no Perry White in this. I only see as Lois. So Lois might be in charge of the Daily Bugle, or not Bugle, but the Daily Planet. Sorry.
Hell, when the first issue.
Boy, if she was in charge of the Daily Bugle, that would be a real crossover event.
No.
The
Anyway,
first issue came out so long ago, they might or shit. Perry White may not have been introduced in the comics yet.
well, these were all written before. It's just they didn't release them. They were working on the third issue. This was already written the first time. They could have released it if they wanted to, but overall, basically, we get Superman taking Lex Luthor and a little energy thing or bubble boy thing, taking him all different heroes to the universe. Yes, first they go to the Legion superheroes. Which you get this beautiful art in here. I love this.
ooh.
This is Brian Hitch art here of the Legion fighting against the something 5?
The Fearsome Five?
Fearsome, yeah, their version. Superman talks to them and basically, after he introduces the Lex Luthor, and so he ends up going to go see Brainiac 5. He mentions that he's not going to tell him that it's Brainiac's son, but basically do it. And Brainiac uses is like he basically says like he says, I need a favor. Already on it, there's a signal head. You can deposit your baggage at the media chair because they don't like Lex Luthor. And Lex Luthor's like, your friends are looking at me like Dion Fossey looked at apes. I'm displeased. And Brainiac's like, you're displeased. I'm the one examining an ape. So with Saturn Woman serving as our telepathic link, I become Brainy's microscopic vision eyes, seeing them beyond the molecules and atoms to scrutinize Luthor's quirks, gluons, muons, and gravitons, and all stuff. They come to the conclusion that they can't help him. But also we get flashbacks because this, as we talked about this offline, Breen did. This is basically the Connor version where they were actually kid friends. So Superman's remembering back when he would basically when Lex Luthor lost his hair and he first discovered kryptonite and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then they stopped being friends because of this. Thinking that he was basically like criticizing him, even though the kryptonite was actually reacting to him. That's why he was in pain. He kicks him out of the lab. Only if he's just basically Joel goes to contact aliens and he finds this planet here, the portal, but it overloads the system and explodes. So Saturn Girl, who basically is linked, basically is like, wow, I didn't realize, that was that tragic, the memory, But yet, even though despite this, you still want to save him. Yeah. They end up going to Themyscira, where one was like, fuck no, I don't want him here. And so they get in an argument. She's like, how dare you? It's like, it's like basically, I said the art on this is really good. She's like one of the women was like, people look to you protect them, and I love this. Like Lex Luthor's like, me without my camera, I'd make a fortune streaming this. Batman versus or Superman versus Wonder Woman fighting. And so he's like, Diana, I don't want to fight. And she's like, instead you betray them. You blacken every leaguer's reputation. What gives you the right? No matter how much we want to, we can't save everyone. You help me with help so many of us come to grips with that. Every moment of every day, there are people around the world who die because Superman's not there for them. Why does this have to be any different? There is no sin, no simply allowing fate to take its course and making humanity safer. And he's like, and he says, you know why? Because I never let them see me as a weapon. All it takes to obliterate that trust is the slight sight of me willfully acknowledging or basically allowing one single mortal being to come to harm, and then becomes he passed judgment on them. Will he pass judgment on me? So he basically has what he does. He doesn't care who you are. He's going to attempt to save you because that's his thing. He's not going to pass judgment on people. So she takes a lasso. She takes him in this little chamber, and he makes a quirk about it. It's like involves technology, but yet you hide it for yourself, selfish stuff. The last one, they start seeing more into Lex's life, and he blames it all. His gushing moment on the lasso. That's why, because the lasso does compel you to tell the truth. But it also brings out, you're the good in people too, I guess. She tells about basically how his Superman's like secret identity, how he lives along the mortals. You don't know anything about him. He basically is in awe of the fact that with no abilities like his, they're able to live, to go do so many things, go to the moon and all that stuff. And so Superman comes back. They realize that they can't help Lex Luthor, and so he takes a little suit. He's like, "We're gonna go down to Atlantis." This is where we get to be tells about Atlantis is a continent. It's not a city. There's a bunch of cities.
Yeah.
And the one they end up meeting Lorelei or Lori Ramirez.
Lauren
And
Ramirez is having a comeback, man.
I know,
And 3 books in a month? Jeez.
she was an Aquaman last week.
I know.
Yeah.
Aquaman, World's Finest, and now Last Days of Lex Luthor.
So they talk telepathically, and Lex is like, "Here, I thought you were all about Lois. What's her face? And you're telling me Superman has a side piece." Now I know Brain doesn't like this, but this is modern Superman, so Lex is gonna say stuff like that.
That's not the point, though. Lex is an intellectual, and he considers himself smarter than everybody else. He's flippant, but this is almost like TikTok got Lex, because when he said earlier in the issue, he goes, I can make a fortune live streaming this. No, you can have all the money in the world from the things you invent. I said,
this is modern. This is modern.
I know, great issue, but that doesn't excuse poor characterization.
Honestly, doesn't bother me. It does, and that's the problem.
You're right. I'm so triggered. I'm quitting comics. I'm never going to read another one again. I'm out.
Yeah, you did.
Will not accept any criticism of anything you like, ever.
Yeah, and so don't you dare talk about WWE. They're perfect.
They are. I'm glad you finally realized that.
This is cinema, and you can't handle it.
Cinema. Peak.
Moxley would have never done that in WWE.
How dare Cactus Jack would never do that. No. Like I said, this is the modern writing. I don't get bent out of shape. And I'm not saying that you are. I'm just saying that obviously triggered you a little bit.
No, it's
not enough to make you quit.
I'm just going to point out mistakes. Yeah. I don't care. Like I said, if a bad writer writes something good, I will give them credit. If a good writer, stumbles on some things, structure, this is a really cool story. Yeah. Although when I talk about it, there's something I will add to that what I thought would have made it better.
Yeah, I'm just saying I don't see it as a mistake. Honestly, I thought it was kind of him just being snarky, and then it's just him dying. So I mean, he's probably having a lot of emotional stress.
Lex thinks he's the smartest man in the world, and he's probably the second smartest man. That guy wouldn't talk like that. That's all I'm saying. Maybe the Lex in Superman right now that doesn't have all his marbles. Maybe.
Yeah. Well, I said this is an Elseworlds. This has nothing to do with anything going on. But this is an Elseworlds of the modern Superman, though. Probably not that. Remember when Elseworlds were not connected to anything in the main universe? So that's what it seems like. This is basically the new modern Elseworlds compared to the Silver Age and everything that he used back in the day. But overall, though, basically this is like a Christmas Carol with Scrooge, being played by Lex Luthor. As he goes on, he learns more about Superman, who he is. Now, there is one thing I thought was really stupid, and we're gonna get to that. But first, there's Laura Ramirez tries to kill Lex Luthor. No, it's called and tell me if you want to go get your prize. It's down here. It's a Garden of Death, and so. They give him this fruit, and basically he starts eating it, and he starts gets all this noise in his head, and he gets flooded by all these images of Laura Ramirez and Clark's relationship and stuff, and But at the end of it, even after seeing all this emotion stuff, he starts crying. He's like, "Ugh, magic! I hate magic." He was like, "Wait, no, magic hurts you. I love magic." So it's a weird version of Lex. Like I said, it's not the one we're normally used to. I agree with you on that. But at the end, they're back at the fortress. Now they can help him, and Lex is like, he's like accuses them basically. Superman's doing it because for his own ego, which is basically an old trope that he's always accused Superman of having an ego. He's always says Lex says like, you have an ego, and it's like, you have to be right. You don't care. And or some secret guilt, and then Clark does this. He reveals himself to Superman. I'm the boy. I'm the one you didn't like, the loco back thing. It was because of me. You probably wouldn't be like this. You'd probably be one of the greatest scientists ever, and help humanitarians. But yeah, because I didn't reveal my identity all those years ago, and when we were kids, and it accident happened. It's my fault. And so I love this. Lex is like, wow, you're turning this into a me moment. Really? It's all about you, Superman. You just, reveal your identity. I'm just tired of superheroes revealing identities. We had Batman doing that in Absolute Batman. Even before that, in the main book, he was doing that. He's like, people were figuring out his identity left and right. Barry Allen did that in the CW. Hi, I'm Barry Allen in the Flash. Like, can we get it where heroes do not reveal their identities? And at the end, we get Brainiac showing up and says, like, I'm going to kill both of you. Pretty much. Like, like I said, there's things I like about it, there's things I don't like of it, and it's not a perfect book. But
it's perfect enough to be his number one.
Yeah, pretty much. Now, I'll let Breen speak in 2 seconds. I just want to show my back issues got. I was filling in more of my Catwoman run. I only got issue 6. Where some days you just can't get rid of
That's good.
Yeah. And then number 71. So.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Who was writing Catwoman by issue 7? Was that not Mary Jo Duffy by then, or
the 71? That was Grayson. Or no, actually, no. You were. Yeah. It was Grayson, but Belant was still on there, and then El Quizza was doing the art or inking. But I noticed something. They still have that approved by the Comic Book Code Authority up here. It's just really a little. I don't know why they still have it. I thought the Comic Code Authority was done by the 90s.
It pretty much was.
It's in 1999.
It was pretty much done by the early 70s, but it just was there kind of, I guess, as a courtesy.
Yeah.
Okay, a couple things. Some of the best Avengers stories in their 60-plus year history took place in space. The first great story, the Kree-Skrull War, took place in space.
But as I said, I don't read a lot of Avengers. The one I've known from a lot of the media purchase outside the comic books, they don't go into space that often. They're mainly on Earth.
Yeah, but they do go into space when necessary because they're Earth's mightiest heroes, but they're also protecting the universe. Okay, a couple things. Netflix, kudos. They have finally race swapped in reverse.
What?
Yeah, there was a true story about 2 black migrants
who
killed their girlfriend.
Kid? Ambulance?
With knives, but they're being played by 2 white kids, and they're being changed into Christian conservatives.
Yeah, I see. As I saw about the kid who basically stabbed a bunch of people to death, and it was black, and they turned him into a white kid.
Yes.
Conservative.
So once again, fuck you, Netflix. Jesus.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter. I was like, I've never heard of this before, this movie, but I was like, I'm not shocked.
Nah.
Hey, but it's still a win. They did race swap the black kid. It's a win.
Is it a win? Is it though? Is it though?
I had to look twice to make sure that the black kids didn't have red hair.
I thought that was a Babylon Bee article at first.
Yeah. When it comes to Netflix, it's hard to tell the difference. I did pick up the FF3 facsimile.
I saw that. I almost got it. I almost got the Infinite Crisis on Infinite Earths facsimile.
We all know that Zach was rich. He could get his bathtub design as the Fantastic Four. So.
I'm not seeing the problem there.
I know.
About to say, are we supposed to laugh? Like, yeah.
If I had FU money, I'd probably do that.
Exactly.
All right, number 7. Archie is Mr. Justice.
Like
I
that.
love I love the cover.
That's a great cover.
This basically tells a story about Betty has Archie reveals his identity to her, which I don't know why he had to, because his face doesn't change when he becomes Mr. Justice, but I don't know.
Comic books.
And he basically ends up breaking up with her because he feels like he can't keep putting her in danger because she keeps wanting to help. So that's why he starts dating Veronica. But Betty doesn't listen, of course, and tries to help and ends up losing an arm. And it turns out like the bad guy, I can't remember, I forgot his name, but it of course is Reggie. He has an evil heart, but his character in this is
Dan Parent,
the
true villain of Archie comics.
I thought we liked Dan Parrott.
Dan Parent's the one, and it was
Kid Wicked.
Okay, Wicked.
All right, well,
yeah, Dan Parent is the one who basically started woking up of the.
Oh, I'm thinking of Ryan. I think I'm thinking of Ryan Parrott. Never mind.
Ryan Parrott.
Dan Parent can go either way. Does he write this? No, this is written by Kenny Porter. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 6, Rockefellers. We already talked about that. And I wouldn't be 100% shocked if that's the grandmother, because I don't think we've seen the last of her.
I don't think so either. But the last I remember, I thought the grandmother was like
she sacrificed herself to stop the villain.
Decapitated or something. Like more was missing than just an eye.
She was dying. She was going to die anyway. She sacrificed to solve the time.
Yeah, she could have had her consciousness downloaded into something else.
You're right. These time travel.
Number 5, Absolute Batman. This is just fun. I mean, I just know the way to put it.
That panel where he pokes the kid. I love it.
Yeah.
When he adjusts the ear to, it's like this. There are no rules for this. Apparently, that includes, head proportionate to the body. Good God.
Yeah, I know, right?
1993 Image is embarrassed.
I feel like everyone's on Venom in that series. They're all jacked up.
No.
Love it.
And
that was number 6. Number 5, Defenders of the Earth.
Oh.
It's basically is the penultimate chapter. The evil brother that's assumed the role of the Phantom, has kidnapped the true Phantom's daughter, and he has to go rescue her. And the rest of the characters like Lothar and Flash Gordon, they're kind of just like backdrops in this issue. But they rescue her, and there's one spot where he says that because she's dressed as a Phantom too. He says she's an amazing Phantom, which that's a little bit of virtue signaling, but that's okay because this was a fun story. Jim Calafiore's art is not what it used to be. I'll say that, but still, I liked it. Oh no, that was number 4. Got my books out of order. Number 3, Batman and Robin. We've already talked that in detail, so there's no reason for me to continue.
You can still give your opinion on the book, though.
It was the number 3 book of the week. I loved it.
You can tell me what your favorite parts are. I know that you don't have to like do the whole synopsis. It's been beaten to death.
Well, I don't know if I had a favorite part in particular. Robin rescues when Robin finally unloads on Batman.
That was my favorite part of that series.
About how he does take it seriously, and when Batman, it basically is an "F you, Batman." Who are you to tell me blah 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 blah? Yeah. And then Batman goes, so when are you going to teach me how to walk on a tightrope?
Yeah. So it's not the Titans. Fuck Batman.
Number 2, Last Days of Lex Luthor.
Oh.
We've talked about almost everything. Now, once again, this in the Superman Wonder Woman scene, we're supposed to look at Wonder Woman as the bad guy in the scene.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yet everything she says makes more sense than everything Superman says. So once again, this is a leftist writer putting rational talking points into the mouths of their villains, thinking they're, now, I mean, obviously Wonder Woman is not a villain, but she's right. Now, one thing I would have liked to see added to that would have been if Wonder Woman said, because she's talking about how, you can't save everybody, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. And
but she could say, how many people could you have saved while you were, in the 31st century? So where all the places you've gone already, not because he hadn't been there yet, but he said, in the time you've taken looking for someone to help him, how many people could you have saved? And he'd always say, well, if worse comes to worse, I could always fly back through time and land a second before after I left. Because apparently he's got that power again, because the DC heroes, I guess, have their Silver Age powers again.
Well, here's the other thing. Brainiac 5 lied to him, too.
Well, you just didn't want to tell him what happened to him.
Yeah. So we don't know if Lex survives or not. No,
we don't. And that's what you should do in those situations. That was good writing.
Yeah.
And this was 99% good writing. This is, and 100% beautifully illustrated.
The dialogue was like 70%. Like, say, it's not 100% likable. I agree with you on that. But being the art and just the story point, or just overall, was fun.
Yeah, I said, thoroughly enjoyed it. Glad I ended my boycott, because two of my favorite books were, Mark Waid.
Yeah.
But number one, Dick Tracy.
Nice.
This was excellent. It felt like watching a movie. The things like when Fangs, when we find out he survived.
Yeah.
And he stumbles into the club and it's like, who did this? And he's like, Dick Tracy. Dick Tracy did get me, Dick Tracy.
Yeah.
But they didn't run off half cocked after the first sentence and go to try to kill Dick Tracy.
I was expecting that.
Yeah. So, and then and I agree with you. It's not Pat.
No.
I don't know who it is. Unfortunately, if it isn't Pat, it's going to be somebody. It's like, oh well, who cares? But and they might be purposely misleading you when you say, well, it can't be Pat because that's too obvious. Maybe they will go that route because that's what we're all thinking. But either way, I'm in for the ride. This was an excellent issue, and to me, it edged out Luther in year one.
Yeah, wouldn't it be crazy to turn out it's actually the rookie cop?
Could be.
And she was working with somebody else.
That'd be wild. That'd be a twist.
Because she got attacked and she survived.
Yeah. Which that's a trope that's been used before.
Yeah.
But yeah, I said it's just 2 weeks in a row that there have been very good books at the top of the heap. So
yeah. This past 2 years, or I'd say even 3 the past few years, the books have been leading the industry. I think what we've all been enjoying has been indie books.
Well,
it's
there are there are a number of really good indie books. There are a number of really good DC books. There's one good book at Marvel that I would put in the class of the other ones. I mean, you can make arguments for a handful of others, but Marvel's been mailing it in for years now. But for every time you want to go all in on DC, see what I did there?
Yeah.
They do something colossally stupid. Now, apparently this year for their Pride issue, they're going to make a Golden Age character trans. It's like, it's like I said, what politics over profit.
Zach, I know. Zach, did you get Bug Wars?
I did not. The first issue didn't really grab my interest enough to get the second one.
That was another book that was really highly rated over on a League of Comics.
I saw that. And I was like, it was okay, but I didn't see a ton of appeal in the first issue. So I was like, I might wait for
also
the
going back, Invincible. Every single issue of Invincible in Elite Comic Geeks is like a 4.5 or higher.
People are on that Invincible train.
They could be. They're actually reading it and just really enjoying it. Because, the animated series is actually his.
Did it just finish the third season?
Yeah.
You didn't read Invincible, Zach?
Mm-mm.
So your lack of cool isn't a new thing.
No, it's very much been there. It's been there from the start. It's just not my cup of tea.
Even my old ass loved Invincible.
Yeah.
Oh, and 193 for those of you that are keeping score. That was the last issue of Walking Dead.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was 194 or what.
94. Oh, okay, we had the numbers mixed up.
Yeah.
No, 193.
So honestly, Invincible. I'm on. It was what my issue on now. Hold on, look. 87. Or no, I'm on 95. That's what I'm on now. Of Invincible. Invincible has just been fun. I know Zach said you don't really care for gore and on some of that.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like here this thing. It's more cartoonish gore. It's not like horror movie gore, which is like 10 times I think is much more disgusting.
Now there's I will say there's no way Nolan could have been redeemed, but he was.
Yes.
That was I think that was one of those where he probably didn't intend to do that, but maybe the popularity of the character. I mean, I'm sorry, he just slaughtered way too many innocent people.
It's like Negan.
I'd say it's worse.
Well, Negan was also the character that was not supposed to be redeemed in the book. Right. He doesn't get redeemed.
Right, but you can kind of tolerate Negan working with the people now because he lives in a world where there are no rules.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nolan did what he did in a world that he thought he was superior to, and just.
But Breen, though, what makes it great about that is that when but Nolan did, and Mark gets called out of it. That's why we get that one dude. I forgot what his name is. He's one of the guys. His sister and his niece were killed in when the fight in Chicago when Nolan and Mark were fighting. He blames Invincible because why is this guy let free? And Cecil has basically excused everything that he's done and let him go free. Because normally in another society, or original society like ours, these people be held accountable, but they can't control Mark. So
and Nolan legitimately changes his outlook. I mean, but again, like I said, if you can get past that, Now, I quit. In a very Zach-like move, I quit right around the time they replaced him with a black dude.
Yeah, that's right.
That was one of the times I just quit.
That was Bulletproof.
Multiple books at the same time.
And honestly, I did not expect it when I was reading it. Also, because Mark, because he was exposed to this disease that was supposed to kill Vulturites, but it ends up just taking away his powers. They don't know how long it's going to go, so they have somebody step in as Invincible. Because his girlfriend Eve has this company called Invincible Inc., and they're hero for hire, kind of sense. Which I always liked about that. But I mean, I don't know. Obviously, Mark gets his powers back. I just don't know what issue it is. But right now, they're doing in issue 90. I was reading is what happened to Robot Man and Monster Girl when they went through the portal, the flax and stuff.
I liked his bug brother.
Oh yeah, Oliver.
Nolan's side piece in space.
Yeah. Oliver is like he's kind of like I'm gonna say Spock, but he's kind of like the Vulcans. They go logic over emotion, and it's like his Oliver almost becomes like a bad guy, But overall, though, the series is good. The TV show has its issues, but overall it's good. What's funny, because if you don't know who the cast is for the Action Invincible cartoon series right now on Amazon, it's Glenn from The Walking Dead, Stephen Yeun is Mark, and they just had Negan come on, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, as Conquest. And so Glenn got
really fun casting there. That is actually pretty genius.
Glenn got his chance of a revenge. They also have the guy who played Aaron on there. He's you only have
he had a lot of voices though. Red Skull.
So it's a lot of Walking Dead reunions on there. Jillian Jacobs, she was on with Community's on there. Plays Adam Eve.
She's Eve,
yeah. Like the voice talent, the actors, it's really good. And the show has been.
Isn't it Seth Rogen that voices that one-eyed alien?
So here's the thing: I don't like Seth Rogen, but this role has been good for Seth Rogen because it's not Seth Rogen jokes. It's Seth Rogen not unleashed, but Seth Rollins basically on a chain and not allowed to do his dirty jokes.
As he should be. That's
And
why
and he actually, and because he sticks to this, his character Alan comes off funny. You know, you like him. I actually like the character, and I keep reminding myself, hey, wait, this is guy I don't like. This is Seth Rogen. Like that's what I like about actors, that when they can get rid of their stupid drama they do in their own personal lives and actually just be someone else, be the character. You know, that's the way it should be. You should not just look at every character as the same actor in every role. But unfortunately, it's that some characters are like that. Actors.
Shifting gears for a second, some guy that I follow on Twitter sent a picture of his bare arm and said, "I just got my John Cena tattoo today."
I've had one for a while. What are you talking about? Yeah. And John Cena's kids. You can't see them; they're invisible. Oh,
man. I love that guy. We agree on everything but politics.
Yeah, and the other thing we got to bring up, you mentioned earlier, though, was the whole Moxley thing. We finally got to see him get the spikes. Yeah, and people were like, oh my gosh, he's going to hurt himself. Why does he do that? Because there's so many people who are against hardcore matches. That's why WWE kind of went away with it, because the ratings. Because the FDA or it's called, who's in charge of the FCC?
When they were when they were a publicly traded company, that's when the booty shorts went away.
Yeah,
the blood went away. The hardcore matches went away, but they've slowly crept back in. But their audience isn't built for that.
No,
we talk about taking unnecessary chances. Aren't we still waiting on two wrestlers to come back from that cage thing where two of them broke bones coming down?
Yeah.
I mean, last I checked, we still haven't seen Bronson Reed or.
So they don't like the fact that John Moxley does these hardcore matches. Same thing that Terry Funk did in the bad day. So does Dude Love, Cactus Jack, Mankind, Mick Foley, ECW, and they're like, well, that's what ECW failed because nobody wanted to watch that. No, it's because Paul Heyman was not a good business person, and also because WE was growing popularity overall. You just couldn't compete with them. You know, ECW, So they basically said, oh, that was backyard wrestling what they did with Moxley. Because he basically had the nails on the board with the crisscross, but they got stuck in his back because he got suplex on him. They couldn't get out. It was pulling on his skin. So we're so grossed out. I was like, we don't need to see that. No, and like
WWE fans exhibit a lot of cult-like behavior.
Yeah,
where they're absolutely intolerant of anything that's not WWE or WWE related.
I've told many people online Twitter, it's like I understand you don't like AW, so shut up and just go watch your WWE and stuff and be happy with that. Be happy you actually have like a lot of people are saying like, it's like, dude, there's so much of wrestling on right now. There's competition right now. It was announced that WWE is going to be going into London and right around there when later this year. So they're gonna have pay-per-views competing with AEW, and people are like, "Oh, look at WWE! They're trying to, squash them." It's like, no, it's called AEW. It is getting attention, and I love competition between both of them.
Well,
and there's a lot of people like me who do not watch things live. That's the thing they don't take apart of. So the ratings thing is out the window. No one cares about that because you can watch it on Max, so you don't have to watch it live. You can go watch it on replay. So
again, the two biggest stars in WWE, arguably, are Cody Rhodes and CM Punk.
But
neither of them are there if AEW hadn't existed.
But that wasn't even the main match, though. That's I like these people only watch it. They're like, "Oh, yeah, it was the main event." No, it wasn't the main event. The main event was Chris Chandler versus Megan Bayne, and I actually like that. With they had Tony Storm was on commentary, and they're talking about that. And then at the point of that, you got these two athletic women fighting each other. One gets thrown into the other one, and Tony Storm gets pissed off. At the end, she goes in and basically attacks Megan Bayne at the end of the match, and they get pulled apart. They always do. Like, this has been doing wrestling for a while. They pull them apart, but then I love how Tony Storm she's one of my favorite promoters. She's probably the best women's wrestler alive right now. at least most entertaining. She says like, "Wow, it's like you're a big bitch, aren't you?" Like she creates the meme for this. I love that. She's like,
I think I would give Tony Storm the nod because I think, honestly, I think WWE.
Yeah.
And I know WWE fans can't find any fault in anything they do. I think they botched Rhea Ripley. She should have been the biggest thing, maybe period, in WWE. But
Bianca Blair came out and says like, you don't have to win anything. You just have to be Rhea Ripley in order to get a shots at the stuff titles.
But yeah, now I mean, she was 6 months ago. She was Rhea Hogan, which I'm not sure I like that much. But now she's just like a whiny brat. Now, if they're smart, they should run with that for a while because she is young, and that character could work for a while, and then build her back up. But
the other one's coming back is Camille. I
thought they shot that down.
Not that I'm aware of.
I was at Carmella. Where's Camille coming back to?
AEW.
Oh, good.
She's the one that was basically the bodyguard for.
Yeah.
So and we were like,
would be awesome.
Yeah, and so are they setting up to have Megan Bayne? Because right now she's obviously their gimmick right now. She doesn't speak on mic. Right. So everyone's like, so of course everyone in W shows, oh, she can't speak on mic. That's why they don't let her have the microphone. I think no, because it's more of the mystery to her, where she's just like a behemoth and just takes out people. She's aggressive, But I love, like I said, Tony Storm being on commentary. He's like, Megan Bayne's a goddess. Goddess of what? We need to know. What is she a goddess of? Goddess of not speaking? I love it. It's been a fun stuff, man. But I'm just tired of like people saying, "Oh, hardcore matches are gross and stuff." It's like you never would have survived the Attitude Era then. But let's go in the chat here. Eric drinking flavored water. I want to try that new bubbly, the Bublé, Michael Bublé water. W's big problem is the factions all suck. Judgment Day, American Made, LWO, Wyatt's, Attitude Era, both WWF and WCW did factions well. Honestly, that's the thing too. AEW's got the same problem with their factions, their groups.
Well, the one that they went all in on has not worked, and it really needs to end with Swerve taking the belt off of Moxley. Either put more members in and make it basically the battle for AEW. But the only way that works is if you bring in a Shane McMahon or somebody like that's been the secret head all along. If not, just move on. You got Takeshita Okada, who's basically become
the Don Callis family too. Yeah.
Well, he doesn't do anything other than flip people off. He's one of the best in the world. Probably still is.
His match.
You got Jay White. You've got Will Ospreay. You've got Kenny Omega. I saw Gabe Kidd popped up a couple weeks ago. You bring him in. They've got a ton of other people whose names I can't think of.
Who kind of reminds you of Ricky Steamboat.
But they've got a lot of young talent there, and they've got some veterans that can still go. I mean, they can shit on Copeland and Moxley all they want, but those guys can go.
And the thing is,
do you ever hear anything? Does anybody complain when AJ Styles gets a win? No.
Yeah, no.
You know why? Because he's in perfect land.
So all those guys you named off, the big heavy hitters for AEW. Honestly, with they're doing another what are you going to call it? Those matches, a tournament. They're doing their own tournament like they always do around this time of year. Honestly, they need to put all their good guys like this in the tournament and have them go against Kenny Omega.
And then let's not forget Paige.
Yeah.
MJF.
Paige is on sabbatical. I mean, she's gone.
No, Adam Page.
Oh, Adam Page.
Adam Page.
Right.
Friedman, Adam Cole. I mean, they've got the people. So just stop wasting time. And then you break up the Death Riders. You get Claudio back. Pac is doing what they do best, and that's fantastic.
The problem with Pac got thrown there because his Penta and his brother went to WWE. They were the Death Riders, or not the Death Riders. They were called something else. The Death Trio.
No, the Death Riders, but they're the Pac's part of the trios champions.
Yeah.
But they've got it's just move on from that. and just
Yeah.
or repackage it because and at least give us one 30-minute squash match where Willow just beats the hell out of Maria.
You know what I miss is the battle. Like I think AEW should do their own version of the Royal Rumble. I think that'd be fun to see.
Well,
and they've done their battle for the poker chip. They've done that, But that's coming up again, isn't that the casino one, the Las Vegas one?
I don't know.
But
honestly, I'd like to see. I'd love it if Danielson could come back for about a year.
Yeah,
I forgot how much I missed him.
Yeah, just a microphone or do commentary.
Just everything. I mean, I think if he's not performing, then just bring him back to like wave to the crowd or something, because I don't think he's particularly. Whoever it was that said Danielson's better in the ring, but Punk is infinitely better on the mic wasn't lying.
Yeah.
The mic work has never been Danielson's strong suit, because it's never had to be. Because as a wrestler, he's peerless.
I think your opinion, you're just fickle.
No. Yeah, I'm a birthday party clown.
Yeah, you are. But we were talking about wrestling. Zach's been sleeping, and Geekeasy keeps popping in.
It's after midnight. It's been going for 3 hours.
I know. That's why I'm going to put this link here. We're going to end it right here, guys. I hope you guys had fun. We went for 3 hours tonight. We could have went a couple more hours, if you really wanted to, but
you wouldn't be doing it alone.
I'm with you.
And it's only 8 o'clock here. He still would have been doing it alone.
And when it comes to doing things alone, there's no greater expert than Geekeasy.
Damn right. Woohoo! You're gonna do it. You want it done right? Do it yourself, man.
Subscribe to Geeky. Yeah, that's right. Subscribe
to which every woman in the world says.
That's right, ladies. Subscribe to OnlyFans Geekeasy.
I have 2 channels, one for each foot. And then
right.
Oh my gosh!
All right.
On that note,
and he streams them both at the same time. All right. We'll see you guys later. And then maybe we'll see Breen on Friday night. We don't know, but this Friday or tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Isn't everybody gone this weekend?
Just you and Marania. Pixel's not going to be reading this Friday, but I think he's here on a Sunday. But so anyway, me and the girls are going to read Sonic the Hedgehog then.
Oh.
So.
Yeah, Kentucky's on at 8 or 7, so I'll be watching that. So
yeah, so
you kids have fun.
We will read some IDW Sonic the Hedgehog books, which go for a lot of money apparently. Those IDWs, $20 a piece for some of them. Some of the retailers ones were like up to like $69.
Hey, Breen,
that's way too much.
Did you see those archives that I picked up?
Yes. Did you see there's another one coming out next week? So that'll be like 2 and 3 weeks.
For some reason, I had 7, 8, 9 on my wish list, and by the time I went to get them, 8 had been sold out. So I had 7 and 9. I just,
7 and 9.
Creepy.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that. I saw the EC one. I saw the Tales from the Crypt.
I had a creepy 7, 9, the Tales number 5, and then one of Pond and Merrimack and all that stuff. But
I think I am reading Creepy Volume. Exactly. I'll go through kicks where I'll knock off a couple volumes. So I've read like 3 of them recently. I think I'm on Creepy Volume 8 because I just finished Eerie Volume 8. Because I have the first 12 of both.
You also got the Vampirella volumes too.
Only 5 though. I wish I had more of them because those, honestly, not because of Vampirella, but just the other stories in general. I think that was where the top talent went. Once Vampirella got established, it was the best of the 3 books, and it wasn't close.
Yeah, I gotta go get some heat on this thing.
We're ending it right now.
Get out of here, man. Take care.
We're just waiting for you guys to get a conversation. That's all. All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for jumping on, Zach, and staying on. Breen, didn't expect you to jump on. Thank you for joining us. And Geekeasy, thank you.
Just now a compelling game as we're going off the air.
Nice.
So perfect timing.
All right. Later, guys.
Later.
Farewell.